The PlayStation Showcase expectations are at an all-time high, and the day of the event is finally here in the wake of a Sony webcast with lots of great info about live service games, PSVR 2, as well as their investment in first property and more. We will be walking through all of the various expectations that I have for the showcase, a lot of guesses, and maybe even some adjustments in what I think about what's going to be happening in this showcase in light of that webcast. I've even got the PDF. We can kind of comb through it and look at some of the numbers because it's looking very promising for PlayStation going forward. And I continue to say that I think this will be the biggest gaming event of the year, only potentially rivaled and surpassed by the Game Awards. Now, there's a whole new batch of speculations and guesses. I generally do not like to hype up showcases before they happen, but given how long we have waited and how many hints, leaks, and rumors have been coming to the surface, I anticipate this being a massive show. I want to talk about first-party games, third-party, PSVR 2, live service games. Will there be any PC games there with the recent comments from Jim Ryan, as well as hardware? Will we see any hardware at all? Now, I like to put all of the information right here at the beginning of the video. It's a longer video because it's a live stream. So if you like these types of content and you want to be here for the conversations, hit subscribe, hit the bell button. That way you can be here. I will be co-streaming the event. So if you're watching this later and you want to see the event with my reactions and what I think about it, you'll be able to watch that on this channel as well. So when it comes to the PlayStation Showcase expectations, it's hard not to get caught up in rumors, leaks, and hints that have been dropped. We've seen everything from a Bloodborne sequel to a Bloodborne remake, Spider-Man co-op, only for that to be specifically shot down by Insomniac on Twitter. We're also seeing Insomniac tweeting about Sunset Overdrive and Resistance. I thought it would be fun to walk through a bunch of the categories and talk about what we know for sure, as well as take some guesses at what will be there. And in light of taking those guesses, I'm not trying to say these will definitely happen, or if these things don't happen, I'm going to be really mad. It's just fun to talk about what we think could be there, what could show up. So I've got first-party games, third-party games, PSVR 2, live service games, PC games in light of Jim Ryan's comments, and then hardware. And I'm also throwing in TV and movie in light of the recent web presentation that Sony did. So let's just talk about first-party games. Despite rumors from Foxy Games that something will be there potentially to outshine Spider-Man 2, I think Spider-Man 2 will be the main part of the showcase. I anticipate Spider-Man 2 sort of blowing the doors off the year. I think people are underestimating just how good that game is going to be, handing sort of all of the Game of the Year praise to Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I think much like everybody saw Zelda Tears of the Kingdom as primarily being just more Zelda, I think Spider-Man's being underestimated to the same degree. I also think there's been some new rumors that point to good things. Now, the rumors came from the voice actor for Miles Morales, and he did get the co-op thing wrong, and I actually think he was maybe confused. He likely recorded voice lines for co-op fights in the game. We're likely going to have co-op gameplay where, if you've played the Arkham games, when Batman fights alongside Catwoman or Robin, there are voice lines recorded specifically for that. And in the trailer, he references and says, oh yeah, it's been revealed, it's been announced. In that original trailer, Miles and Spidey, Miles and Peter are fighting together. And he's maybe just thinking, oh yeah, that's co-op. I don't know if he's a big gamer. He also said in that interview that there would be symbiotes everywhere. Many people are saying, well, maybe that means there'll be more symbiotes than just Venom. And then rumors about Spider-Man, Peter Parker ending up in the symbiote suit. That could lead to a fun section of the game where, you know, Miles maybe has to go and save Peter Parker. I think you're going to play interchangeably as both of those characters. There's other obvious, I think, appearances that will be there as well. I think the next big, most obvious one under the realm of first party would be the Last of Us Factions. It's been announced. We know it's coming. We know Sony wants to do a big push into live service, so I anticipate The Last of Us Factions being there. And with Naughty Dog almost assuredly being there, many people are probably wondering what's next for Uncharted. You got to remember, Neil Druckmann said Uncharted 4 was one of our best-selling games, and we were able to put our final brushstroke on that story and say that we're done. I was doing the quotes to say I was quoting him. I forgot to say quote. So I was quoting him there. He's saying it was our one of our best-selling games, and we got to put our final brushstroke on it. So I think the wording there is intentional. They put their final brushstroke on Uncharted. I believe that Uncharted game with Cassie Drake will be there. The live from PS5 trailer featured what looked like an Uncharted game with what looked like potentially someone with like lighter hair in a tomb somewhere, and many have said they believe that that is Cassie Drake. That could also be making an appearance at this showcase because clearly they're already creating something for it if it's showing up in the live from PS5 trailer. And I think that would be a turning point and a narrative shift, no longer coming from Naughty Dog. It would now be Cassie Drake's story. When it comes to Ghost of Tsushima, we have pretty good confirmation that it won't be there. Jeff Grubb hasn't really missed on this showcase, and he said, quote, moving back to the PlayStation Showcase, I might have just sniffed out 2 things that won't be there, if that helps anybody. It doesn't sound like Ghost of Tsushima 2 will be there. I'm still holding out a little bit of hope because I'm a huge Ghost of Tsushima fan. It was mentioned a bunch in the webcast. It was on a bunch of the slides. Jim Ryan mentioned it recently in an interview, and then they have the planned Ghost of Tsushima movie. Now, I didn't feel like Jeff Grubb's denial was a very strong denial. Like, he doesn't think, it doesn't sound like Ghost of Tsushima 2 will be there. That doesn't sound super strong, but I'm not saying it's going to be there. I'm just holding out hope as a fan of Ghost of Tsushima that, we get some kind of an announcement. There's also the possibility of Fire Sprite's horror game making an appearance. Shortly after being acquired by Sony, they announced a horror game that they were building in UE5. And under this heading of first-party games that might be there, Bloodborne will almost assuredly make an appearance. There has been just too much smoke around this title leading up to the showcase for there to be no fire. Where there is smoke, there is fire, and there has just been a house full of smoke about Bloodborne. When it comes to Metal Gear Solid, we have firm confirmation that it's coming, but coming to all platforms, PS5, PC, and Xbox. It does sound like it's going to be a next-gen only title, but every person who has confirmed its existence is now also confirming that it will be multi-platform. However, in March of 2022, it was reported that PlayStation privately acquired the rights to a very popular Konami IP. So this could still land as a timed exclusive, maybe. Maybe the Metal Gear Solid remake will be something that hits PlayStation first, or perhaps there's something else. Maybe there is that Castlevania game. A lot of the announcements, a lot of the leaks, about this Metal Gear remake had Castlevania up in the mix, so that still could be a part of this deal. Or maybe Sony just secured the marketing rights and they know that this is going to be pretty popular, so they want to be considered the premier platform where the game lands. Metal Gear also could end up being sort of one of those strange games that is first party but ends up landing multi-platform. I don't know if there's room for Metal Gear to be a live service game, but given the webcast from Sony and their big push into live service, securing a Metal Gear piece of property and then making it multi-platform only really makes sense if you're going to make it live service, unless, of course, Sony didn't secure the rights, they're just maybe helping publish it. So what about PSVR 2? Well, the PSVR 2, I think, is going to have a huge presence at this showcase. I think people really underestimated this thing, and the blog makes it very clear that PSVR 2 games are going to be a part of the showcase, and I think something at the level of Call of the Mountain will be there. In my previous PSVR 2 coverage, I stated they needed their own first-party lineup. You've really got to bring that level of quality. Considering how strong Call of the Mountain is visually, I think they could do something similar to that with another big title. I'll give you my guess in a second. Gameplay-wise, Call of the Mountain is lacking. It's way too much climbing. The fighting, actually, I thought was very enjoyable, and for a first effort, it is very impressive. I could see a companion Spider-Man VR game, the same way they did with Call of the Mountain and Horizon Forbidden West. They were discussed and announced in very close succession to each other. And what better game for crazy VR experience than web swinging through New York? And the combat in Call of the Mountain leaves room for maybe stealthy combat or stealthy movement in Spidey sneaking around the rafters, as well as maybe one-on-one encounters where you're dodging out of the way, flipping, and doing the web slinging in people's eyes and things of that nature. I could see this being very good for the PSVR 2. Beyond that, there was a Eurogamer video that confirmed 93 PSVR 2 projects. Some of those projects in that video, they stopped development of the project and diverted their attention to the PSVR 2. So this sounds kind of similar to the way the PS5 is sort of wooing third-party developers with how easy it is to make games for it. If they did similar research into VR, they might be coaxing VR developers in a similar fashion. Like, hey, it's great to make games for our unit, and the unit's doing quite well. Contrary to all of those ridiculously bad headlines a couple of months ago, according to the report from Sony, the PSVR 2 is doing quite well, and it hasn't even hit retailers yet. It just started to hit retailers. So I anticipate a bigger VR push from Sony than maybe people have been expecting up to now, especially after that webcast presentation. The PSVR 2 is doing well, and they aim to invest in it. Big first-party games on the PSVR 2 would be perfect way to coincide with showing up in retailers, especially if it's Spider-Man, because everybody loves Spidey. Now, what about third-party games? So this is harder to guess because there's been hints dropped here and there. I already did a showcase where I talked about some of the other games that I'm not mentioning here, but the obvious one I think that is going to make an appearance is GTA 6, and I've been getting a lot of criticism for this prediction. If you look historically, GTA has a pattern of being involved in Sony showcases and events. I know they don't typically announce new games in this way, but they haven't had to announce a new game in a really long time. This could honestly go either way. Everybody is firmly believing that Take-Two and GTA would just do their own announcement, but the Take-Two earnings report hinted way too heavily at the GTA 6 release window, and that was right before this showcase was announced. It lines up really well to announce during the E3 time of the year. We don't have E3 anymore, but basically once you get into June, it's E3 season. It's time to make announcements. It's time to make a splash. There, I think, could be a very good reason for GTA to show up at the Sony event, because I believe the PlayStation Showcase will be the biggest event of the year for gaming. There's the obvious involvement from Final Fantasy XVI. It's first party in spirit, but it is a third party developer. It is a third party game. I also think we're going to get maybe some clarity on what's going on with Metal Gear. I don't think they're going to really want to drive home the point that the Metal Gear remake is multi-platform. You're not going to want to be mentioning Xbox during your PlayStation Showcase, so it will likely not be really slated as a third-party game. It'll be positioned as, prioritized, optimized something for the PS5, but that is looking like it's going to be a third-party endeavor. Now, third-party PSVR 2 involvement will likely be there. Beat Saber was on one of the slides for the PSVR 2 during the Sony presentation. Beat Saber's got pull in the VR community. A lot of people are going to be very excited to see that title land. There's also a lot of not currently launched games on that slide during the PSVR 2 portion of the Sony presentation. Now, what about live service games? This is causing a bit of a splash because people looked at that webcast and they thought, oh my gosh, live service games are going to get a big presence with Sony's investment going forward. In light of that presentation, I expect some live service games to have a presence at this event. That could involve Bungie. During the Q&A with Jim Ryan, folks seemed very interested in the relationship between Bungie and Sony. Sony aims to have 60% of their investment into live service versus 40% traditional by 2025. That's heavy. That's a lot of money by 2025 invested into live service. They've said recently that their approach to live service will not look a lot like games already in the market. They don't just want to make a bunch of Fortnites. They're going to target different genres, different audiences, and different scales. This was from an interview with Herman Holst about the live service games. Keep in mind that by 2025, they want a 50-50 split between new IP and existing. Right now, it's about a 60-40 split, but prior to now, it was an even heavier split, like 80-20, firmly leaning to existing IP. They want that to be an even split by 2025, so a lot of new IP is on the horizon. The presentation also confirmed there are currently 12 live service games being worked on right now. So I would expect a strong live service game presence at the showcase, because if you got 12 games in the fire, you're gonna show at least a handful of them, I would expect. Now, what about PC games? This got me into some hot water. If you haven't seen Oh No, It's Alex's video, he thinks he's taking me to task. I'm going to have him on the show Friday. We're going to duke it out a little bit. I've got some rebuttal to some of the stuff that he said. But Jim Ryan really upset some of the PC fan base by sort of doubling down on saying, hey, 2 to 3 years is acceptable according to gamers that he had spoken with or had talked to. Now, again, we don't know why that phrase is being used. 2 to 3 years is acceptable. Were you talking to PlayStation fans that don't like the idea of first-party property going to PC? Because that is a change in dialogue. That's a change in position of, hey, PS5 exclusivity is a big selling point of consoles up to now, and to suddenly see games going to PC might have disrupted ecosystem trust, okay? Was he talking to PC players who felt like they got better quality the longer that they waited, okay? He literally made these comments, I think, with this webcast coming in mind, okay? You have to look at how much money PlayStation made with PC ports and look at the fact that they were doing that 2 and 3 years after the launch of those games, okay? I think Sony's attitude is this. We're going to keep doing that. There's no rush to push stuff to PC because you're going to keep buying it. Spider-Man's over like 1.5 million in sales, so I don't expect there to be a change there. So people can get really upset, you know, PC gamers can get really mad. I don't think they're coming any sooner. Now, I have always pushed for 18 months. I think that's the sweet spot. A year after a game comes out, you kick it to PS Plus. Squeeze the life out of it. Get as much value as you can on your ecosystem. And then 18 months after it's been in the market, kick it to PC. 18 to 24 months feels like the sweet spot. 3 years or beyond seems way too long, but Sony has their own market research, their own margins, and as long as there's a revenue impetus, they'll maximize it. Wherever they can make the most money, that's when games are going to come to PC. Now, the TLOU port sales weren't bad, but they also weren't impressive. The Last of Us port was a disaster when it came to market. I don't know why they went with Iron Galaxy. I think they were trying to rush that port to market because they wanted to coincide with the TV show. That's a terrible way to treat your property. One of your best pieces of property, a banner title, a flagship title, should have been given a lot more respect and better treatment. I hold Sony and Naughty Dog accountable for that. You can blame Iron Galaxy all you want. Someone at a high level made that decision, and it was a terrible one, and it affected sales, no doubt. It wasn't as good as you would expect, especially given the remarks about every time a Last of Us episode aired, they saw a rise in sales. Well, that could have been really great for your PC port if you would have waited, had much better response from the market, and then Season 2 is around the corner, okay? Sony can continue, I think, to have solid first-party offerings, making their console demand projections continue to rise. They look very, very strong. And then they can maximize profit on PC after the game has sold, after it's hit PS Plus. They've maximized its value on the platform, and then they can maximize its profit in the PC market. So will PC games be a part of the presentation? I actually think there's going to be a small portion. I originally didn't think there was any real room for PC games at this event because the blog was sort of worded about, hey, new PS5 games, new PSVR 2 games, not really games that are already in the market coming to PC. I mean, I would love to see Ghost of Tsushima come to PC. I'm still angry about how Returnal was treated coming to PC. It got very little marketing. It was a rogue. It should have been a smash hit on PC. They also should have warned people that it was going to be using the Epic Online service to do co-op, because everybody panicked and thought that it ghost installed Epic Game Store, and Steam users have a very particular feeling about using another storefront. So I hope they start treating PC ports better, market them stronger. When I think of Ghost of Tsushima, I don't want to see it get similar treatment, especially considering if you ignore the Last of Us port and some of the frame rate issues that Horizon Zero Dawn had, Days Gone, God of War 2018, both Spider-Man games, Death Stranding, there's been a handful of games that came from PS5 over to, or come from PlayStation over to PC, and were incredibly solid ports. We can't just look at the Last of Us port and act like that's indicative of the quality that you're going to get, especially considering that was the fastest port. So if you're begging for Sony games to come to PC, proof's in the pudding. The longer you wait, the better port that you get. This leaves one last category, with obviously the caveat I want to make mention for TV and movies, but I do want to talk about hardware. I originally thought that hardware would not have much of a presence at the showcase, but after the Sony webcast and seeing how well the PS5 accessories have done, I could see at least a short segment on hardware. The handheld could also show up because Jim Ryan made it very clear they want to invest heavily in cloud, and a handheld device that gives you remote play and cloud play could do just that. We also had that leak of the LCD providers who were providing the LCD screens for the Switch. They were providing LCDs for a new console. Well, that's not going to be the Switch. I don't think Switch is going to do more LCD. I think they're going to continue to do OLED, unless the new console is the Switch 2 and they're doing another LCD. But the specs on the LCD were more in line with the PlayStation Q Lite handheld. Now, outside of that, I thought they were getting hardware announcements out of the way. There was an Android controller, there was that Access controller to coincide with Global Accessibility Awareness Day. It's basically a controller for those who may be motor impaired or not having all of their digits, or maybe only one arm. These are people that end up using very, very unique controllers to play video games, and accessibility efforts for these gamers is awesome to see. But it seemed like PlayStation was getting those hardware announcements out of the way, therefore leaving room for just only games at this event. I will say, I think hardware gets a segment given how successful the accessories have been and how good the PSVR 2 is being. I don't see hardware getting completely ignored. Last but not least, TV shows and movies. You just can't count these out. They saw a boost in sales of The Last of Us every single episode that aired. Every episode, not just when the season started. That's crazy, okay? They're going to make waves with this stat. You're going to see a lot of people want to make that decision of, oh my gosh, look what you can do when you've got really good property. People can make fun of PlayStation all they want for only making movie games. Well, ironically enough, the movies and the TV shows that come from these games are likely going to serve sales, so joke's on you, I guess. Maybe just some announcements, teasers, or roadmaps. I'm not sure if they're going to show anything, because the Ghost of Tsushima movie, as well as the TV shows that are slated and planned, they may be locked up right now because of the writer's strike. So we may have anything in the pipeline completely stalled out. So showing something or even giving a timeline might be a bad idea. We've got Ghost of Tsushima movie. The thing that I think might be there almost assuredly is the Gran Turismo trailer, maybe an extended version of it, just to reemphasize, hey, look how great this looks. This is one of our properties, and that can obviously boost sales for Gran Turismo. Given the direct relationship they saw between sales and episodes of The Last of Us, I expect some time allotted to TV shows and movies. Now, the heat's already picking up on Twitter. I'm seeing folks who primarily cover and lean strong for Xbox saying that this showcase is going to be massive. Even content creators and outlets who heavily favor Xbox are hyping up this showcase. I believe it will be the biggest and the most watched gaming event of the year, only rivaled and potentially surpassed by the Game Awards. Will my expectations be met? Probably. A lot of my expectations and excitement is more driven by just seeing something new. My guesses and predictions are just that. They're guesses and predictions. They don't have to come true for me to enjoy the show. I try not to do laundry lists of demands when games comes out, like, oh, it needs to have all these things. I try to do the same thing with showcases. It's fun to make predictions rather than demands. After it's all said and done, Sony has big shoes to fill, and they're shoes of their own making. Waiting this long to talk puts a lot of pressure on them, and I believe they're primed and ready to answer the call. So let me give you my thoughts and my conclusions. After the webcast presentation from Sony, it's clear why the rumors about the showcase have been so big. PlayStation has done well in virtually all of its efforts, and the showcase is an opportunity to push the ball further down the field. Consumer loyalty and confidence feels like it's shifting right now, and the revenue reports and the earnings calls and the presentations just continue to further that feeling. The PlayStation Showcase can cement what a lot of us have been saying for the last year or more. PlayStation's going to come away as the clear, undeniable leader in AAA gaming, especially AAA console gaming. Second thing, with so much property and so many plans about big games, bringing games out, they said they want to bring 2 big games a year. I could see this really spacing out a lot of the coveted titles. Maybe that's why we won't hear anything about Ghost of Tsushima 2. We already know one of the big titles slated, or at least tentatively planned for next year, is Wolverine. If they're only doing 2 big games a year, some people might find this disappointing, but I think this will be better for everybody involved. Devs can take more time, make a quality product. Sony can maintain their growth projections and their demand. You can't jam everything into 1 year. This will likely be compared to Xbox's plans to deliver a big AAA title once a quarter. Well, keep in mind, Xbox is 3 years behind on making good on that promise, and quality will need to be there, or it really won't be the comparison that Xbox fans want to make. If you're getting a game every quarter and it's at the quality of Redfall, you're not going to want to really make this comparison. Here's my conclusion. It seems that people are willing to shift in their allegiance a little bit, if not a lot. Given the undeniable strength that PlayStation has, I anticipate more people shifting away from a strong Xbox slant. I hope that Microsoft answers with an amazing showcase. We all benefit if things are less lopsided. It's so heavily slanted in Sony's favor right now. That's not good for gamers, and it certainly isn't good for the market. We're already seeing games trend away from wanting to land on Xbox because of their own decisions with Game Pass, as well as their failing hardware numbers. Look at what Zelda did as an example for what happens when good quality comes to market, even on a platform that's 6 years old. An amazing Nintendo game dropped, and when the trolls and the console tribalists got bored and were cheering for it for all the wrong reasons, they moved on to other things. It was clear that the gaming community was just enjoying an amazing game. The clips and the virality of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom has really recaptured the joy of what gaming is about for lots of people. PlayStation's about to drop a Leviathan-sized showcase on the gaming world, and if Xbox can answer back, we all benefit. And that is the show open. We're almost there, baby. We're almost there, baby. We're almost there. The show is almost here. I was trying so hard in the show open not to overhype it. I don't want to oversell it, but that PlayStation webcast yesterday, it's just undeniable. Like, you can't deny the facts. PlayStation's been crushing it. They have. There's absolutely no other way to look at it. It's like they're doing an incredible job with all their efforts. Look at their accessory numbers. Look at the PSVR 2. Look at their revenue reports. Look at their projections. They are primed. They are primed and ready to go. And this showcase, I think, is going to cement that reality for a lot of people. Let's get some coffee orders going. Already almost 1,000 people here. A great day to blow the doors off of the member goal. 25 members, and I give 5 every 25. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for smashing the like button. If you are wanting to watch the PlayStation Showcase, you can watch it with us. I will schedule a stream. We will co-stream it, okay? We're going to go into like a waiting room with members. It's a good reason to be a member today. We're going to have a PlayStation Showcase waiting room where we just hang out and talk and chill while we kind of wait for the main event. Sony does need game diversification on first-party front. GT7 is their most unique genre this gen. That just simply isn't true. Returnal is unlike any game I've ever played. It's a bullet hell third-person action-adventure rogue with a really compelling story. There's nothing on the PlayStation right now that's like Returnal. There's nothing like it at all. I don't agree with that. Hotshot coming in with the first gifted member bomb, taking us to 5 out of 25. He says, let's get started. Let's get started. Lucas McQueen with $1 super chat tip. Thank you so much for doing that. And don't forget to smash that like button. Coffee time? That's right. That's right. If you guys order coffee, let us know. The main event is today at 4 p.m. Eastern. We got a long day ahead of us. So you don't have to worry. We're going to give you all the coverage when it gets here. Especially for members, you'll actually be able to be, you'll be able to hang out in the waiting room. Yo, James Tiberius Kirk, one of the newer viewers and persons hanging out here lately in the community, drops another 5. If you get a gifted member, you can hang out with us all day, even when we are in the PlayStation Showcase waiting room waiting for the show to start. Othranzala says, I think we get a release date for Stellar Blade. Game looks like a lot of fun. Thank you for the $5 tip. Yeah, possible. Ignore who said it. That's the language they were using last night. They're dropping bombs today. Yeah, last night they said things like overwhelming pride. They feel bullish. They feel confident. They cannot wait to see the reactions. They are excited. They have a sense of pride and belonging across studios and departments. That's some of the wording from the webcast last night. Good to see you, James Tiberius Kurt. Good to see you, Brown Excellence, with the 4-month resub. Says, let's go. Today's the best first day to be part of the Reforge fam. That's right. Thank you guys so much for being here. Teasing Metal Gear Solid board game to be revealed today. That wouldn't surprise me, Beezer. I didn't mention this in my show open. Let me pull open this PDF. Let me show you guys some stuff just so we can kind of have it on the screen. All right. Yo, Taylor Made just gifted 5 more members. You guys are off to such a strong start. Are you going to make me shave my beard? You're going to have to really bring the heat if that's what you guys want to shoot for. I don't know why it's giving me the option to print. I don't need to see this. All right, hang on a second. Let me turn off the dark mode. Yo, DK Bager. This guy's usually poking the member count with 1 just to motivate other people to get involved, and he drops a 5 gifted member bomb on the stream. Let's take a look here, okay? I'm going to show you something. The Metal Gear Solid board game doesn't surprise me, and let me show you why. They made mention here on this slide. Oh, no, I forgot to reset the capture card. Dadgummit. Oh, hang on one second. Oh, wait, I think I did the wrong one. Yeah, I did the wrong one. Dude, I absolutely hate that. Like, if I... Come on. Hang on. I think I know what to do. If you go to certain websites, it, like, triggers HDCP in your cap card. There we go. Okay, the show can resume. Sorry for that, stupid interruption. All you stupid jackwagon websites that protect yourselves with HDCP, screw off. $2 from Newtonian. MGS is my favorite series of all time. I will cry. Wait, did DK Bager do another 5? Did he do another 5? No, I already shouted it out, right? Yeah, 20 members, right? Yeah, we got it. We got 20 members. The reason that I don't doubt the Metal Gear Solid board game, look over there on that other side. They want to go beyond entertainment. They want to get into merchandise. Lego, Super Groupies. I don't know what some of these companies are, but you can see they want to get into merchandising. So you could 100% see IP stands for intellectual property. They want to expand their intellectual property. Basically, what it means is we want to expand our stuff. We've got our games, right? These are all their games. They got Gran Turismo, behind me is Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us, Twisted Metal, God of War, Horizon. So they want to expand that into things like an Uncharted ride, Lego sets, things like that. Lone Wolf coming in and he hits the 25. We've already hit the 25 member goal. That's probably a record. Another 10 coming in from Quintar. Quintar and Zyber each drop a 5, and that's another 10, absolutely massive. If you're a big fan of gaming, if you're a big fan of PlayStation, this is a great place to hang out. We cover all things gaming. And yes, we love PlayStation here, but we will also be covering the Xbox Showcase because no matter what you hear on Twitter, I actually love that platform too. Lucas McQueen says, new Sly Cooper, let's get the ball rolling. Thank you so much. And another gifted member from DK Bager, an agent of chaos. He's like, I'm not going to let people have a nice even amount. So, in light of that prediction about a Metal Gear Solid board game, it wouldn't surprise me. It really wouldn't surprise me at all, right? It just wouldn't. I would imagine that they're gonna do more pushes like that coincide. One of the other things that came from their presentation yesterday was just how the PS4 launch versus the PS5, and the PS5 has pulled up and away. They no longer are facing supply chain problems. They've gotten past that, right? Ready, Set, Dead was 7 months of member. Thanks, chat, for the gifted. Y'all the best. I got a really nice message from Wooly this morning. Wooly, with a new baby and life responsibilities, just can't be here as often and can't be a member. Super nice guy, and you guys gifted members, and he got one. And I just wanted you to know that he said thank you. It meant a lot to him personally. So y'all's generosity is touching folks in a real way. So thank you so much for that. James Tiberius Kirk's going to come in with a gifted, and Sora is King is going to jump in all on their own. That's going to take us up by 6. So that is 42. It's too early in the morning for math. Really, any time's a bad time for math. $2 tip from Richard Rodriguez. Ubisoft is happening. Bethesda comp and IP. I don't know about Ubisoft. It's looking more and more like Ubisoft is trimming down so they can get purchased. We'll see. We'll see. Please take my kidneys for Jack 4. You're getting a little bit too intense, bud. Lono has the best neutral streams to watch. I appreciate that. Wooly's good people. He's been very nice to me since very early on. He's taken up for me against like the slander and the lies. Just a good dude. Real good dude. And look, Alex roasted me up this morning. Well, he tried to. Roasted me up this morning, but he was nice. Like, he didn't go too far. Terminal Stupidity's going to push us to 52 members on the day, pushing us all the way to the next milestone, which means we need 75. What's up, bud boy? Oh, for Pete's sakes. 10 more from Ryan. My son needs shows. My daughter had a dentist appointment this morning. Thank you so much, Ryan, for 10 more. We just hit 62. Chat, I want to know, what's the biggest game you're looking for here this morning? I want to hear from you. We're covering the showcase this afternoon. Tell me what game you really hope is there. Give me 1 second. My son needs shows. What do you want to watch? All right, Pokemon it is. He's going to watch Pokemon. I want to be the very best. I don't want to get DMCA'd. I better stop. Okay, people are saying thing. Cory Barlog's new game, The Dream, Legend of Dragoon, a new Souls game. Let's see here. The Reality Ace Combat. MGS would be awesome if they brought it back. That's pretty much confirmed. Bloodborne Remaster, somebody says. Another Sly Cooper. Bloodborne 2. Wolverine, hopefully some PC announcements. Another Sly Cooper. Man, a lot of people are pulling for Sly Cooper. Listen, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I've never touched a Sly Cooper. DP Sage coming in with 17 months, and it's a VIP. Yes, sir, today is the day. Glad to be a part of this great community. Keep up the great work, homie. Thank you so much. Gotta be a dad, duty calls. That's right, that's right. I'm afraid to be disappointed. Listen, here's the best way to approach something like this, okay? Here's the best way to approach something like this. It's okay to have hopes. Like, I hope Ghost of Tsushima sneaks in. I hope that Jeff Grubb is wrong. Jeff Grubb, you seem very nice, and your predictions are on target, but I really freaking hope and pray that he's wrong, okay? But if Ghost of Tsushima 2 isn't there, that's okay. Like, it's okay to hope for something. You have to create different categories in your brain. Hopes are not demands. Like, don't make demands of the showcase. Like, if I don't get 18 minutes of gameplay from Spider-Man 2, you're probably going to be disappointed if you ask for too much. Or, again, if you make demands of the game. Ghost 2 is like 2 or 3 years away for sure. Again, in my mind, right? In my mind, the idea is that if they're going to do 2 big games a year, they are going to space out their games pretty significantly, I think. Right? I think they're going to space them out. Edward Hulse with a $2 super chat tip. I'm most excited for the button shape transitions. Come on, man. A Bloodborne anything would break the internet, says Ronald. Anytime someone uploads a new video on YouTube, it does numbers in days, even to this day. Sora is king with the first $2 super chat tip. I'm so hyped for possible Spider-Man 2 gameplay. I don't think it's possible. I think there will be Spider-Man 2 gameplay. No doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. Ace Combat 8, I need it, says Thrifty. Rise of Ronin is out first. Somebody said that the other day, and I'm going to tell you something, Belly. I'm totally convinced by that argument. I have been fully compelled that they have to keep Ghost of Tsushima out of the frame so that Rise of Ronin can have its time. Now, I wore this Spider-Man shirt intentionally. Really looking forward to Spider-Man 2. If you like this shirt, it comes from the Spider-Man collection at 80s Tees. They don't sponsor every episode, but they're just an ongoing relationship with us. 80stees.com. Use code Lono. Oh, boy. We got more gifted members coming in. Ready, Set, Dead with 10, and Gilbert Sanchez with 5. That takes us to 77, already on the doorstep of 100. You guys might actually get me to shave my beard this week because it's a big week for gaming news. Keep the love and the generosity coming. Jax with a $2 super chat tip says, have you heard anything about the game Wayfinder? We've covered it a little bit here and there. It shows promise. It looks very, very good. Always concerned about ongoing structure for games like that. What's the content plan? What's the monetization? Those are probably always my 2 biggest question marks about an ongoing live service game of any type. James Tiberius Kirk with a $20 super chat. PlayStation Showcase, Bloodborne Remake, Silent Hill 2 Remake, more Lords of the Fallen, Death Stranding 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Ghost of Tsushima 2, Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake, Wolverine, PS5 Pro announcement. All right. You got at least 2 in there that aren't happening. Ghost of Tsushima 2 is not happening. I have been compelled that they need to let Rise of Ronin stand tall. I'm convinced. PS5 Pro announcement will be next year, middle of the year. The PS5 Pro is slated to come, according to rumors, 4th quarter of 2024. Their projections for PS5 market saturation don't work if you announce a Pro right now. If you announce a Pro and it's like, oh yeah, end of next year, you disrupt market demand. Like the demand for the PS5 would be affected by that. Now, when the PS5 Pro hits and they drop the price of the PS5, that maintains demand. But you have to have the announcement of the Pro and the release of the Pro in closer conjunction. You can't have it that spread out. You'll hurt your projections for PS5 sales. Because people are going to say, oh, the next thing's coming. Why am I going to buy the PS5, right? Well, people will buy the PS5 when the PS5 Pro comes out because the PS5 will drop in price. How we doing? Oh, Grumpy Grumps. Popsicle, though. Hey. How's it look? All right, I gotta give my daughter a little hug. She had an appointment today. They had to take some teeth. Hang on one second. I don't want any details. I'm doing a show, babe. I don't want any details about the teeth. I'm doing a show. Jeepers creepers. Yeah, I would have come and been like, what are you guys doing to it? I would not have been able to do it. Marvelo with a 5-month re-up. Let's go, Lono. Shave that beard. Drexviathan Stellar Yams Cake Edition with a $2 super chat tip. Oh, they got to go really far to get the beard shaved, babe. They're not close just yet. They got a long way to go still. I can give you guys a member count if you want. Yeah. Oh, my wife really wants it to come off. 20 gifted members from Casual Grinder, taking us all the way to 97. All by himself, puts us right on the doorstep of 100 members. Gee, many Christmas. It's going to be a big day for Reforge Gaming. If you're a part of this community and you've been investing in it and growing it and helping us meet more people and get more members, this is going to be a big day for us. Get into the Discord. Get into our Discord. Creature says that beard is safe. He does not have confidence in y'all at all. He doesn't think you can do it. 4,000 total members is what we need to shave the beard. You're at 3286. 3286. My wife said, oh, and she walked away. You need over 700 members to hit the beard shave. So my wife just walked out. She's like, yeah, it's not happening. She wants it. She wants it all the way off. I've not done that since we've been married. We've been married 16 years. Hellish Smoker with 13 months. Do you think we get Wolverine gameplay? I do not think we get Wolverine gameplay. My prediction has been an extended Wolverine trailer. They'll show us sort of the same trailer, but they're going to scan up and let us see his face and maybe let us hear his voice. 21 members coming in, taking us to what's that? Let's take us to 98, and then that takes us to 118. Out of 125, the next goal being 125. 118 members already. A 20 bomb from Detective Seeds. Thank you, Catwalk, for gifting a member as well. If every single person here becomes a member or gifts a member, you'll get the beard shave. There's over 1,000 people here. If you're already a member, gift just one. If you're not a member, become one. $5 super chat tip from Stone Spire Hall says, holy crap, just saw Rise of Ronin gameplay. This will definitely feed my Ghost of Tsushima need. It looks amazing. And 10 months from Patrick Q. You're here every day. Just become a member. Patrick Q's calling on you, all you lurkers, all you listeners, all you people there in the chat. If you cannot afford a membership, we understand times can be tough. Watch as often as you can. That increases the likelihood that you get a gifted membership. Thank you so much for an amazing turnout today. We're going to continue talking about our expectations, the PlayStation Showcase 2023 expectations. What are your expectations? We will be co-streaming the events together, but it's at 4 p.m. Eastern. So when we're done with this show, we're going to hang out in a waiting room. We're going to do another show, a waiting room just for members. A great reason to become a member today. A gifted member from Roic. He's trying to help some more people get involved. He's trying to help that beard come off. Excuse me. 119 members out of 125 being the next milestone. Every 25, I give 5. Keep that in mind when you're trying to get that beard shaved off, all right? If we hit 4,000, we hit 4,000. Even if you hit 4,000 with my gifteds, it counts. We count that, okay? Big energy fella. What's good, Captain Toasty Buns? I got a gifted today and I'm stoked. Thanks, says Sneaky Wolf. Hit the like button, says Alan. Now, we're changing the meta on YouTube. Hate us all you want. Throw mud all you want. You're in our rear view. 5 spot from John L. Brocky says, will you live stream showing the showcase of your reactions? I love your streams. Yes, I will. You will be able to watch the showcase right here on this channel. Okay? Right here, direct from the lamp. You'll be able to watch the show right here. And I will give my live reactions with you guys. I put myself down in the corner. I don't say much. I don't disrupt the show. But I'll go a little crazy at some announcements, okay? I'll get a little nuts. Because there's some big stuff coming today. I'm telling you, man. There's some big stuff coming. My man Detective C's coming back in with a 13-month re-up. I smell video games. Will the shaving of the beard be a live stream? I could record it and then upload it for members only. I don't want something like that on the channel as like a public video. Online MVP hitting 27 months of memberships and it's a VIP gold. Liza P will go on Game Pass day 1. No way it'll be at the PlayStation Showcase. Yeah, that gets a little funky because I think they've handled some of the marketing of Liza P, have they not? 21 gifted members coming in, 1 coming from a brand new member, and they're doing super chats and they're gifting members. Sora is king, and then 20 from Online MVP. That's a nice rounded out 140. 140, and then the next milestone would be 150. You guys are crazy. Victor Mayhem hitting 25 months, and it's a member VIP. He says, PS is the only platform that I don't have. Sony's making it hard to skip them. Probably going to get my first one soon. By the way, hit that like button, people. Victor's calling you out. Telling you to hit the like button. Shulit with a 10 spot says through Super Chat, a $10 Super Chat gift. Lono, I'm not a member because I'm already paying for YouTube Premium. Wanted to say I'm loving the streams over the past few weeks. Killer analysis, discussions, and zero console war nonsense. Shulit, the $10 you just did in the Super Chat, you could use to become a member for like 2 months. You can become a member. What do you mean? You're paying for premium, pay for a membership so you get to hang out in those debriefs. Thank you for the Super Chat tip, Shulit, and I appreciate the kind words. Something Stubby coming in with 11 months, and it's a VIP. Very hyped for the showcase. Best gaming coverage on YouTube. Thank you. Still curious about the whole spellbinding thing? KTC, I am right there with you. I didn't want to make mention of that again in my expectations. I didn't want today's show open to be just like the last show open about the showcase. So I tried to make it completely different. I made mention of a couple of things that you have to make mention of, right? Spider-Man, Final Fantasy 16, and some of those things. But I tried to bring in a different purview, a different POV in light of that webcast. Because that webcast really, I think, changed my mindset about, like, I do think we're going to see live service games. I do think we're going to see a strong PSVR push. I do. PSVR 2 push. And Sora with another $5 Super Chat tip. Here's to the boys who have been waiting for Spider-Man 2 gameplay. Love the content, says David the White. Thank you. Joined a super busy stream. Keep on bringing the great content. Thank you, Polarin. Good to see you. You able to do a recap of your expectations just coming in? Yeah, I broke it into categories. If I'm going to do a recap, keep it coming. Keep the gifteds coming. Keep the super chats. Keep the likes coming. Keep it rolling. Keep the train going while I do the recap, okay? DB Cooper with 3 months and it's a VIP plus. Loving it here every day. Thank you for the killer shows and the exclusives. Also, I'm picturing a very pronounced Dudley Do-Right chin under that beard. Hey! I don't know what that means. So I'm confused. Okay, so I broke down my expectations. Hang on, I gotta move this mic. Gotta be able to see my dry erase board. I sketch out the show before I write the monologue. So I walked through games first. First party, PSVR 2, third party, live service, PC. There's your 5 categories. In the realm of first party, there's just no-brainers that will be there. Spider-Man 2, Last of Us Factions. No doubt that they'll be there. I think Bloodborne's almost at that level of, like, it's almost assuredly going to be there, okay? So those are like 3 sort of guaranteed first parties, okay? Then we have, like, no Ghost of Tsushima from Grub I think Uncharted might be there. That's going to be made by somebody else, not Naughty Dog. I think it's going to be Cassie Drake. It looked like she was in the live from PS5 trailer. 20 gifted members from Terminal Stupidity. This guy doesn't quit. He wants that ECNOR award for the most gifted members in a month. Takes us all the way to 160 out of 175. And a 2 spot from John L. Brock. He says, by the way, it's Brokey. Brokey low key. Got it. John L. Brokey. You brokey. You're not brokey. You're giving me money. Anyway, so yeah, Ben's studio will be there, but we have no idea what they're going to show. And then Project Awakening will be there. We know what that game looks like, okay? We know what that game looks like. There's gameplay footage out there already, and Project Awakening said they will be there. Santa Monica will be there, okay? The audio director basically tweeted, eyeballs. Like, yeah, we're going to be there, okay? No handheld. I think the handheld's going to be there. I do. I think that handheld's going to be there. Days Gone 2? I don't know about Days Gone 2. I think they just secured the contract for Days Gone 2. Creature, how big is this image? What is going on? What is in the world? It's taking forever to load. Unless my internet's got a problem. Chimney freaking Christmas. What did you save this as? It's a JPEG. Let me see how big this is. Properties. 1.5 meg. You might have to shrink that. What's the thumbnail limit on YouTube? I thought it was 1 meg. Is the thumbnail limit on YouTube 1 meg or 2 meg? It could have been Discord that was having the problem. It took forever to load that image in the browser. I don't know if we have a mic command. It's a Shure SM7B going through a Yamaha mixer. It's an analog mixer before it gets turned digital by a Focusrite. I also have a cloud lifter on it. $2 tip from Sora is king. Here's to my last message. Let's get it. Thank you so much. Appreciate that so much. Is it 2? Oh, it's 2 meg the limit? Okay. I thought it was 1 for some reason. Okay. It's fine. Okay. It's not too big then. It was just freaking, I guess it was Discord. It literally loaded like, remember back on dial-up when it would load an image like this? It was like me. That's how it freaking loaded the image. I was like, what is going on? I'm assuming it was Discord. I don't think it was my internet. Let me just open up another website. Yeah, this other website opened up like instantaneously, so it's probably Discord's fault. Anyways, back to the conversation at hand. So in the realm of first party, DK Bager gifted another member, pushing us to 161 on the day. Thank you so much. Currently, I owe you guys 5, 10, 30. I owe you 30 members right now, I believe. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, first parties. So, Spider-Man 2, Project Awakening. I believe Santa Monica will be there. I believe it's Ben Studio will be there. I think we're going to see Last of Us Factions. I believe we're going to get something from Bloodborne. No Ghost of Tsushima 2, according to Grub. I actually think that's on par because Rise of Ronin needs a chance to stand tall, so Rise of Ronin will likely be there. I even think we may see the Uncharted game because they showed that Uncharted footage in the live from PS5 trailer. It looked like Cassie Drake. And Naughty Dog's Neil Druckmann said, we put our final brushstroke on Uncharted, so somebody else is making it. Might even be Ben Studio. I don't know. Ben is using the Days Gone open world format for a multiplayer game, so I don't actually know if that would fit for Uncharted. Anyway, that's all first party. If I miss anything, feel free to say it. Now, under the vein of first party, I believe there's going to be a very, very strong. Does it work? Yeah, I would have gone with different Bloodborne imagery. I think the classic imagery of the guy from the back is better than the chick sitting down. Creature. I think for the the show, what'd you name it? Showcase pregame. PlayStation Showcase waiting room, that's all fine. I think center imagery should be the more traditional Bloodborne imagery. The chick sitting down's not as recognizable as the guy from the back who's got the big saw blade weapon. Yeah, stop selling your kidneys. Like, quit spamming about Jack. You're gonna get yourself into trouble. Okay. He's not seeing anything I'm writing today. I'm free to say anything I want. Boomies. Okay, let me work on this. This is an unexpected opportunity, and I'm not prepared. Well, you ruined it, Zubair. You ruined it. So now I'm gonna watch everything you say. Marvel Spider-Man 2. That's right. Sounds like a drag of a showcase. Only 1 hour. VR2 and handheld gonna take up like half the show. It sounds like maybe you should watch something else then, because that's not going to be the way this pans out, okay? You dissing Maria? I'm just saying that the Bloodborne image is more iconic if it's the guy from the back. 5 gifted members from Stargator. I'm telling you, if every single person here gifts just 1 or becomes a member, you guys will get your beard shave. You will. There's over 1,100 people here. Over 1,100 people here, all right? Everybody just gift 1 member or just become a member. You can do it. Why would you talk about Lady Maria like that? I'm just saying he's more iconic. He's more recognizable. Jiminy Christmas. I upset the From Boys. Now we're in trouble. Yeah, I didn't put the proper amount of respect on a character in a video game. Chill the frick out. All right, Newtonian with 10 months says, I still miss long hair Lono TBH, but the beard has to go. Let's do this, Reforge peeps. And 5 gifted members comes in from Chaimienti. Let me bump that up to 171. 171. So close to the next milestone. DSB with 10 months, and it's a VIP. This is a big day, and it's only beginning. Get those likes up. Okay, so as far as my recap is concerned, that's all first party. All right? Am I banned or timed out? No, you're not. I'm not going to ban somebody or time somebody out for being... Look, you can be a negative Nancy. You are allowed to come here and be a negative Nancy. You can be like a cynical, Cecil. I'm just making stuff up now. You can be a cynic. You can be a negative Nancy. Like, I don't care. As long as you don't insult me, as long as you don't insult the other people here. And we got 15 members coming in. Kardak, Ren, Vengeance, and Raijin all coming in and tag teaming it, taking us to 186. 186, setting the next milestone at 200. You guys are absolutely insane. Paul hitting 11 months at a member plus and says, you think they shadow drop a game tonight? I could see the Final Fantasy 16 demo dropping today, because Yoshi said late May, early June. Sora with a $2 super chat tip. Tony Todd is the best voice for Venom. I'm so hyped. Tony Todd is an incredibly gifted actor. I remember seeing him in, he's Worf's brother in The Next Generation. It's amazing. It's amazing. I have a question with regards to Bloodborne and its setting. Was everything in it, the events, the blood, plague, outbreak, was it all a dream? Thanks, chat. Kana 2 would be great. I dig Tony Todd, that voice. Yeah, really good. We're going to try to squeeze in a show around the member gifting today. That's right. We're going to try to have a show in the middle of you guys gifting members. That's correct. What the heck is going on? Went to take a drink and there's like a hair. His voice sounds like it's seen some Sora with the $2 super chat says, okay, I lied. If you guys are choosing between a super chat and gifting members, choose gifting members. I get the same amount of support either way, but you grow the member pool. John L. Brokey gifting a member. Thank you so much. Brooklyn Breed hits 2 months and he's at a VIP. We made it. Happy to be here. Shouts to Creature and Lono. Work and Lurk. There's one of our worker lurkers. That's why we have the work and lurk emote. Let me bump this to 187. Let me open up the office door. Getting really warm in here. I'm going to ask my wife to bump the air just once. That's my friend. Bump the air. Please, mama. I'm dying down here. Resident Evil most popular Capcom franchise ever. Oh, like a press email. Whew. Okay. Sorry to ask, what time is the showcase? Rather use you than Google. 4 p.m. Eastern. Can you bump the air? It's gonna get so warm down here. Okay. It's on right now? Oh, okay. Lono, my guy, what's up, Coastal Clash? 2 spot from Osiris, so whatever, says time to shave. Listen, I'll give you guys an update on the member count before I move on in my recap, because my recap was talking about first-party games. I want to talk about PSVR 2 in just a second. A gifted member from Ashen Hollow. You guys are at 3,373. You now only need about 600 members. You've already taken it down a notch. You've taken it down from needing about 700, needing about 600. You've taken a big chunk out of it. 188 members on the day. Oh, is it Osiris? Oh, it's Osiris ZQ. I am super sorry. It's when you don't use, space or underscores or, Osiris. Sorry about that. Just go to the stream on the PlayStation channel. Well, no, don't drive people away. If people want to come here and ask when the showcase is and they want to watch it here, let them. There's no reason to be that way. I appreciate people coming here and using me as a source of information. I will never tell you to go use Google. I will never tell you to go somewhere else, right? Factions 2 says Cowboy, and a date, which I hope is this year. I don't think the handheld will be there because Sony just said today that they plan on bringing Cloud to mobile, but today is the day to announce it. Today is not the day to announce it. Yeah, Cowboy, that's right. It's not the time to announce it during a webcast. You announce it during a showcase. If you're... Oh, Coastal Clash upgraded to VIP. If you guys like being a member here, you can upgrade using the upgrade command in chat. And if we hit 300 members, right? If we hit 300 members, every Friday we do an unfiltered debrief just for VIP. So if we hit 300 VIP members is what I meant to say. Preacher and I will play a game together this Friday if you guys can hit 300. You need like 20-something more people to upgrade. So if you enjoy the content, if you enjoy those debriefs, it's a once-a-week VIP thing that we do. Oh, you mean just to see the time? Yeah, chilling with pepperoni. It's totally fine for people to come here and ask that question, though. I can answer it. People in chat can answer it. We don't need to drive people away to be like, hey, go somewhere else to get your question answered. Floyd, what's it say? Floyd Slave coming in as a brand new member. That's what I like to see. You don't need to sit around and wait for a gifted. You can become a member. Hit the join button. Hit the $ button at the bottom of the chat. You guys can jump in on your own. There will be a members only waiting room for the showcase today because it doesn't happen until like 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm not going to sit here on this stream until that time. That's absolutely insane. We're not going to be doing that. We're going to be hanging out with members. These streams tend to do better when you chop them short. So I don't want to have like a 6-hour, I don't even know how long it would end up being. Randall with 2 months. Loving the stream. Packed up the evening in my truck right by Stonehenge. The best. All the best. Yo, thanks for being here. Let me turn this dark reader back on. Oh, can't see anything. Moody was 16 months and it's a VIP. Welcome back, Moody. Let's see here. Anyone know the time the PlayStation Showcase is? Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern. 4 p.m. Eastern. Okay, let me move on to PSVR 2. So, as far as recapping my show open, we have all those first-party things that I listed, and then PSVR 2. Thank you so much for pushing VIP Rygen with a 20-month re-up. He says, VIP. Yes, the showcase is at 4 p.m. Eastern. Yes, you did not mishear me. 4 p.m. Eastern. Okay. PSVR 2. There's 93 games in production right now, according to Eurogamer Video. They went out and did all the research. A lot of those PSVR titles were being made for something else, and now they're being made for the PlayStation VR 2, okay? After the Sony webcast yesterday, I expect there to be a significantly larger PSVR 2 presence at the showcase. I do. I think they're going to push it quite hard. I think we're going to get some first-party offerings, sort of like we got with Call of the Mountain. So they're like, hey, here's Horizon Forbidden West, and then here's Call of the Mountain. I think it's going to be, hey, here's Spider-Man 2, and here's a Spider-Man VR game. That's what I think, because that's the way... The fact that the PSVR 2 only works with the PlayStation 5... You've got to have a great first-party offering then. You do. You can't just be like, oh, yeah, here's a bunch of, smaller indie titles or smaller VR titles. I also think Beat Saber will be a part of the showcase. during the webcast, during the PSVR 2, if you go, here, I can show you. I'll go to that part, I'll go to that slide, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. They clearly are planning to get more VR presence. And you can clearly see right here, Beat Saber, more to come. Now, that game kind of pulls in the VR market, so that's going to be a big win for them. We've already seen Foglands, Resident Evil 4, right there smack dab in the middle. Now, that could be a pretty big announcement as well today. A Resident Evil 4 VR. Or Resident Evil 4 VR was already announced. Maybe they'll show it off. I thought they already announced that. Ghost in the Garage Gaming hits a month. I let everybody that owns a PS5 have the day off today. It was half of my flight group. Yikes. And then Billy with a $5 super chat tip says, "What's good, homies? Today's a glorious day. We shall drink the blood of our enemies. Hold the line. Loving the show. Thank you so much." What's a good VR headset if you're an adult and game on PC? I have been sent a Pico 4. Let me unbox it and test some games, Zubair, and I'll let you know. PC Gamer gave this thing a 90 out of 100. This thing's scoring pretty well. So they sent that to me. I'll do an unboxing video. I'll test out some games. I'll let you know what I think. And I will, they don't want me to compare it to the PSVR 2, but I will say generically, like, compared to other, VR headsets that I've used, I feel like this one competes, holds its own, etc. $2 tip from Predator 3A. Any Black Myth Wukong news today? I don't think so. I don't know if Black Myth Wukong is... I don't know if they're in a position to show anything right now. Last we heard from them, they weren't very far along in dev. It's an all-in-one, so you don't need a PC. Wait, the Pico 4 is an all-in-one? I thought you attached it to a PC. Can you also attach it to a PC? I've not even unboxed it. It showed up. There was an invoice with it. I'm like, why is there an invoice with it? They're like, that's just standard. You don't have to pay that. I'm like, okay. Because that's not what the contract said. So we got that straightened out. Another gifted member from Predator. He puts us right on the doorstep of 200. 190. You guys are absolutely crushing it. I have a MetaQuest 2. Only reason, Beat Saber. Make maps off any song that you want. It's an all-in-one, but you can't attach to a PC. Thank you, Butters. Pico 4 is like the Quest 2. There you go. Yeah, just ask Butters. Butters is one of our resident VR guys. Popsy says Bloodborne remastered. Here's the thing. That's the second part of my show open. So we already talked first party. PSVR 2 will have a stronger presence than I originally thought. It's doing better than the PSVR 1. It was only available on Sony's website. It hasn't even gotten into the retailers yet. You start shoving it into retailers with Ghostbusters, Beat Saber, Resident Evil 4, that Star Wars game. I'm telling you, if you put the PSVR 2 into a retailer with Spidey, you're going to sell them. You're going to sell them. I think there's a Spider-Man VR game coming. I think they announced it today. What's good, Donnie? Patrick Q gifts a member, and it goes to Thunderbolt. If you guys got a gifted member today, don't forget, we're not going to do this stream that you're in right now. We're not going to do this all the way until 4 p.m. Eastern. I will be co-streaming the PlayStation Showcase. You can watch it with us. If you're a member, you can hang out in the waiting room with us. We're going to do a waiting room stream where we just kind of chill. It's not going to be this crazy intense. So Kale gifts 5 members to the community, and it jumps it all the way to 196. You're in the most generous community on YouTube. They call us ponies. Well, there's a Lono pony emote, but we're not really ponies. We're gamers. And people are just allergic to, I guess, facts, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, Uncle Barada with 10 months. Good morning, Lono. Huge day for gaming. Thank you very much for your content and energy. Keep rolling, bro. Good to see you, Uncle Barada. Floyd Slave does a $20 super chat after becoming a member. Anyone else want to see Legacy of Kain reboot? Are you going on Brap tonight? Oh, no, dude, I'm too busy. I'm so stinking busy. After the showcase tonight, I'll be specking out content and recording videos. I won't have time for Brap. I love Brap. I love Mooch, but I got my own stuff I got to work on, man. I'm a two-man operation, and Creature does like 10 different jobs. I do like 5 different jobs, and we can't take our foot off the gas. I can't start going on podcasts right now. What was I going to say? Oh, Eugene says Lono and the PS5 saturation wasn't quite as high as PS4 was at the time that the PS4 VR1 launched. PSVR 1 launched during a holiday. Yeah, like the PSVR 2 is outdoing the VR 1 in worse circumstances. So like, you know, VR 1 had a lot in its corner and the VR 2 is outpacing it. That says something. Someone gifted me a membership yesterday. Thank you, kind stranger, says Froman. Good to see you. Glad you got one. The whole showcase is only for members. Just the waiting room. Just the waiting room. I feel like I'm trying to say that as clear as I can. We are going to co-stream the showcase at like 3:30 p.m. Eastern. We're going to head over and do a public co-stream of the showcase. While we wait for that, there will be a showcase waiting room just for members. I'm going to do a public stream of the co-stream. Boss Man with a $5 super chat tip. I just want some competitive multiplayer game announcements. We have many single-player games, and that's great, but where are the multiplayer games? Well, let me show you a little slide. Let me just show you a little slide. First, let me show you this slide from yesterday. They want to expand their IP. So, just a couple of years ago, it was about 80% existing. And then in this year, it's going to be about 60% existing IP with 40% new. By the end of fiscal year 25, they're going to be a 50-50 split. What that means is there are a lot of new games on the way. A 2-spot from Sora, got my official SM2 shirt. The hype is real. Yeah, man. Spider-Man, dude. Spider-Man is just, everybody hold on to your hats. Now, in addition to that slide, I want you to look at this slide, live services, okay? PS5 investment by business model. So this year, it's a split that leans a little heavier to live service against traditional. By the end of fiscal year 2025, it will be a 60-40 split with more invested into live service, okay? I think you're going to get your wish. In that mix, there's going to be some multiplayer games. There will be. Now, they did say their live service games will target lots of different audiences, lots of different spaces. They'll be scaled differently. They're not just going to make a bunch of Fortnites, okay? So you're going to get your wish. Jujutsu Kaisen says, with a 7-month resub, Jim Ryan got this June 10th, going to be an L for Xbox, 0 game title, Starfield will make or break Xbox. I don't believe that. I believe that the Xbox showcase can be strong. I just don't think they can stress the whole next 12-month thing. But I think, listen, don't count Xbox out. Don't count them out. They've got a lot of big property, homie. Don't sleep on them, okay? They have gotten off to a really bad start this generation, but they got a lot of property. You got an older fan in chat. Don't miss this comment. Maybe 5 minutes ago. Really nice. From Monsoon. Oh my gosh. I'm scrolling. From Monsoon. Hang on. I'm scrolling. I don't know how. Can I search? I wonder, can I search within the chat? I can. Monsoon. Hey man, I found your channel from your Transformers Reactivate streams way back when. Have your thoughts about the game changed at all? I'd love to discuss it further with you. Are you still excited about Transformers Reactivate? Have your thoughts changed? And then that's it. Yeah, my thoughts about it are I want to see more. I don't know enough to say anything. They haven't shown anything. My mind can't change. My mind about it can't change without new information. So that's the issue that I'm currently dealing with that game. Yo, Depth's coming back in with a month membership and a blue badge. Thank you so much. You picked a good day. It's raining gifteds. This is a good day to be in the stream. The gifteds are falling from the sky. We've had almost 200 gifted members already. That's absolutely insane. I owe you almost 40 gifteds. So keep in mind, mine count towards the beard shave. So You guys need like 600 something more for that. I think you could actually probably do it. You'd set a record on this channel for most gifted members in a day. I think the most gifted members we've ever had was like 500 something. My apologies. I'm from a different country and time zone. I need to prepare for the showcase. Thanks, bro. No problem. Look at your clock and just add 5 hours. That's when it's going to be. It's 11 a.m. Eastern where I live, and it's taking place 5 hours from now. Stone Spire says, guys, let's not take our foot off the gas. He rolls it over 201 with the next every 25 I give 5. That's why I'm always rolling it forward. That's insane. That's insane. Thank you so much, Stone Spire. This guy has been so generous lately, always hanging out and talking in the members-only Discord. Appreciate your energy that you bring. Let's see how many new subscribers we got today. Tons of new subscribers today. We hit 29,000 subscribers today. Well on our way to 30,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for doing that. And then one gifted member from Jose Reyes. Thank you, Jose. Every little bit helps, man. If literally half of the people in chat right now gifted once, just one single member, you don't have to do these big bombs. If half of you did one, you'd get your goal. You'd get your beard goal. Shulet with a 5 spot. 20 gifted coming from me. If there's anything Bloodborne remaster remake announced, permaban me if I don't live up to that promise. I won't need to permaban you. You'll make good on your promise, and I think we're going to get Bloodborne remake at the event. I don't think Bloodborne 2 will be there, but I do think there'll be a Bloodborne remake. There's way more smoke around the Bloodborne remake. Onward and upward. That's right, Jay. You can't stop something that's like this, man. It's too organic. It's too based on this community. It's grown from love. It's grown from passion, and you can't stop those types of things, man. Said the same thing about Spider-Man 2. I devo think Tears of the Kingdom gets more than they deserve. Hardware aside, it's a masterpiece. That's right. Let's see. Keep my expectations low. When people you wouldn't expect are hyping the event as a 10 and it turns out to be a 7, it's far more of a disappointment. Yeah, I mean, that's a decent theory. Somebody DM'd me. Jez Corden and a lot of the other guys who lean heavy Xbox are like hyping up the event. He thinks it's underhanded. He thinks they're trying to hype it up so that then they can say, oh, it wasn't as big as I expected. You know, I don't think that's what's going on. I'll tell you what's going on. What's good, Lion? Good to see you in the chat. Guys, make sure you're smashing the like button. So many people are here. Smash like and then hit that $sign and throw a member at somebody, right? Everybody do that. Do what Nook just did. My man just gifted a member to OTR Brando, right? Everybody take a spin on the merry-go-round. Smash the like button and then hit that button and gift just one member. Just throw it, right? Just throw it at somebody. Here's what I think's happening. I don't think it's sinister. I don't think Jez and other platforms, outlets, YouTubers, whatever, they clearly have a lean, and that's fine. You're allowed to have a lean. Everybody has a lean. Acting like you don't have a lean is stupid. I've never claimed to be 100% neutral. I've said I go where the games are. It just so happens that that's been PlayStation for the last, 20 months. Okay? Evidence is like, I'll do it. Here we go. Starting the train, taking it to 204. So I don't think it's sinister. I don't think these guys are intentionally hyping it up so they can be like, yeah, well, it wasn't as good as I thought. No. I think they sense what's coming. I think that they sense what is coming. That PlayStation's going to be very, very strong in the market, and they're going to have to cover it. Right? They're going to have to cover it. If they don't cover it, if they don't give it praise, if they don't have that honesty about just how dominant PlayStation is, they're going to look a certain kind of way. Does that make sense? Now, what I'm not saying, I'm not calling anybody's integrity into question. I think they're just being sensible. You can't lean Xbox right now. You can't. You've got to cover both sides because Xbox is going to be a pretty slow burn. I think Xbox can slowly get back up into a more respectable position. I think they have great property, but it's going to be a slow burn. The wait until, that's why we have the wait until emote. That's their freaking model, right? Evidence lost his gifted. I said it's a good day. Then he bought his own membership, then gifted one. That's the way to do it. Kvac says, I'll jump on the train. Newtonian says, I'll jump on the train. Gifted member train, one at a time. Y'all can do it. There's so many people here taking us to 206. You'll never see anything like this anywhere else on YouTube. Keep that gifted member train going. Jump on, one at a time. Eugene says, I think they realize there's a ton of people they're not reaching with their current content, and it's time to jump on board. Jinx. Right, Eugene, I think it's more strategic. It's more stratagem than sinister. I don't think they're being sinister and like, oh yeah, I'm going to hype up the showcase so then I can poo-poo it. Does that make sense? I don't think it's that serious. I don't. Oh, just put the blood... That's fine. Just put the Bloodborne guy in the middle. Is there not a big enough picture? Just the Bloodborne guy smack in the middle. He's the centerpiece. That's the big daddy. Him, Metal Gear, Spider-Man. That's it. I can't even tell what's in the middle. You're getting too artsy. You're getting too artsy, creature. You're getting lost in the creativity. You got to keep it simple, baby. Kiss. Yeah, there's speculations that Half-Life Alyx will be there for PSVR 2. Xbox's backwards compatibility Game Pass machine. James Carr with 9 months and it's a VIP plus. He says, let's go. Ban. It looks like crap. How does it look like crap? It's one of the most iconic pieces of gaming imagery out there. What are you talking about? He looks great. Just slap him in the middle. Stop overthinking it. What you have going right now is too busy. I can't tell what in the frick I'm looking at. Like this right here. Bro. You're overthinking it. That is iconic. And you just put Spidey and Metal Gear on the sides. Like, just slap him right in the middle. Look at that guy. Everybody knows what that is. There's no doubt. You're like, oh, that's Bloodborne, baby. Everybody's expecting that to be centerpiece along with Spidey. David with an $11 super chat tip says, Reforge, you're not only a gifted speaker and presenter, but you are a marvelous streamer. You're being way too kind. That's very generous. Thank you so much for saying that. James Carr coming in with 5 gifted members, takes it to 211. He's like, listen, I'll do the work of 5 people. You know, 1 gifted at a time, or you can do 5 like James Carr. Thank you guys so much for being here and supporting what you are, what we're all about. Hang on. You're going against the grain of what I'm doing? No, I'm not. 3. We've been doing 3. What are you talking about? Just do it. Can we not do this right now? Just do it. Just do it. Why do we got to do this? I said do this. Yeah, do A. Just do A. Why do we have to always have a discussion? You got Doc in the middle. You got Jim in the middle. You got Lords of the Fall in the middle. Put Bloodborne in the middle. Lono's got good energy today. GTA 6 to open the show. I included that in the show open. Right? I did. I included that in the show open. I'm telling you, there's a pattern. GTA, all right? GTA has a pattern of being involved in Sony showcases, okay? All right, let me do a little commercial. All right, let me do a little commercial. If you're a coffee drinker, this thing that sits in the corner, this is our property. This is not some sponsor. If you're a coffee drinker, always remember to check out Reforge Roast. I don't like doing this that often because people give me a bunch of grief about doing commercials, about promoting my own stuff. Look, my wife and kiddos ship this to you. They give you a little thank you note. If you've never tried coffee with balanced acidity before, you need to try Reforge Roast. I've had so many people say they don't like the bitterness of coffee, they don't like the bite, they don't like what it does to their stomach, and Reforge Roast, they don't have that problem. So try it out. This is a dark roast. It's like the lowest dark roast you can get. This isn't going to be like Komodo Dragon at Starbucks. It's not going to taste burnt. It's not going to smack your tongue, all right? ReforgeRoast.com. Grab yourself a bag. You're supporting a small business. You're supporting my family, and you're getting great coffee in the process. It's pre-ground coffee as well. You don't have to worry about needing a bean grinder. Gonna have to see HR after stream today. No, he's super like persnickety about like thumbnails. He wants them to be real like artsy and nice, and that makes him really good at designing thumbnails. He's very good at designing thumbnails. But sometimes I'm like, bro, just put a bird on it. You know that skit from Portlandia? It's like, just put a bird, just do the simple dumb thing, right? Just like internet monkey brain, bro. People be like, Bloodborne, I click. If I see Bloodborne, I click. Like, they're not looking at balance and like color. No one's brain is looking at the thumbnail that long, you know? They look at it for like 5 seconds. Maybe 5 seconds if you're lucky, right? That we put a lot of work into our thumbnails, and I guarantee you people look at them for like a split second. Jose Reyes with a $5 super chat tip. Jim Ryan GTA tattoo. I think with GTA and Take-Two, things could shift. Xbox could get some exclusive content like they did with GTA 4. I'm telling you, the Take-Two earnings call, and they're like, they give you that release window for GTA 6. Bro, GTA 6, I feel like they're there. April 2024 to March of 2025. Right? That's freaking beautiful. I like how you left the clause. You're such an a-hole. He is so... Yeah, it must be Discord. It really, really must be Discord. It does not want to load this freaking image. It is so slow. Discord must be having some kind of a problem. I'm going to show you guys the one he made. It's taking forever to load. There it goes. Okay, let me save it. All right, let me show you. He left the Wolverine clause in. He's so ornery. There you go. This is the Showcase pregame PlayStation Showcase waiting room. This is a members only thing. We're going to do this while we wait for the showcase. All right? We'll be hanging out with members only. It's a great reason to become a member. Click the join button or give some more members. Keep that member goal going. Let's hit some big numbers a day. And that's what I wanted. I think that looks fantastic. And those Wolverine claws right in the middle are actually a nice touch. I think that actually looks pretty dope. Told you. He's good at making thumbs. He is. Sometimes I'm like, bro, just do the thing that I want. Just do that thing. Do the thing that I want. Fall 2024, it'll drop. We'll see it today. That's what I'm saying. If that's the release window for GTA 6, what better day to announce it than the biggest gaming event of the year? The only game event of this year that will rival this showcase is the Game Awards. That's the only thing that'll rival it. And I guess GTA 6 could wait for that, but I think today's the day. I do. Needs more Lady Maria. He had that first. Pretend like it's my show, creature. You see what I named it? Oh, no. What'd you name it? Lame A version. Yeah, he called it lame butt version. Yeah, he's so grumpy. He gets grumpy when I try to call the shots. All right. We currently have 378. You need 620 members to get the beard shave. I'm telling you, I think you guys can do it. I'm not like Creature. I don't doubt your abilities. I think you guys can do it. So I've been slowly recapping my opening monologue. We've talked about first-party games. We've talked about PSVR 2. Let's talk about third-party since you're already talking about GTA 6. Floyd Slave gifts another member. He pokes the gifted member pool. Listen, I'm telling you, if just half the people here just did one, we would frickin' hit it because then I would owe you so many. I already owe you a ton of members. All right, here we go. Third-party. Final Fantasy 16 guaranteed to be there. I don't see why you wouldn't have it there. Maybe they've got something up their sleeve. Maybe they've got some gameplay that they've not shown, okay? GTA 6, I think it's there. I think the pattern of GTA involvement with Sony showcases, somebody just said that Jim Ryan said they were working closely. Jim Ryan already stated in 2020 they're working closely with Rockstar Games. Yeah, I think it's coming, all right? I think GTA is today, okay? I think this is when they come out and they make their announcement. Now, the Metal Gear Solid remake has been basically confirmed. Every single person that knows about it has essentially said, oh, it's 100% coming. But they have also confirmed that it's going to be multi-platform. So I don't know where Metal Gear Solid remake lands. I don't know where it lands. I don't know if it's going to be like a published game by PlayStation. Maybe they bought the marketing rights, so they're going to get to talk about it first. They're going to get to put the trailers on their YouTube channel. They did that with Hogwarts Legacy, right? They like to have those marketing contracts when it's a big piece of property, even though Hogwarts Legacy was literally everywhere. So it could be something like that. I don't know if Metal Gear Solid works as a live service game. That's another very slim possibility, but they did say their live service games would be multi-platform. So I don't know if Metal Gear Solid Remake's the right game to do that with, though. That wouldn't make much sense, I don't think. I don't know. I'm not familiar with Metal Gear Solid. I'm not familiar with Metal Gear Solid 3. That's the rumored remake. I don't know if there's room there for anything ongoing. None of the GTA 6 devs are located in the U.S. Yeah, I also think they're going to shadow drop the Final Fantasy 16 demo. I think they're going to shadow drop that because Yoshi P said a Final Fantasy 16 demo would show up late May, early June. I think he said that because they were already in conversation with Sony about the showcase. I personally think that Sony was debating between today, May 25th, and June 1st. June 1st is the first Thursday in June. That's when they did June 2nd last year. It was the first Thursday of the month, and they did a state of play as a part of Summer Game Fest. Now, Jeff Keighley is claiming that this event's kicking off Summer Game Fest. I still think there might be a PlayStation State of Play in June, either at the beginning of Summer Game Fest on like June 1st or at the end. They could sort of bookend the entire Summer Game Fest, kick things off today with their showcase, end things with a State of Play, and the State of Play could maybe have more of a specific focus. Maybe they talk about the handheld. Maybe it's hardware. Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe it's live service. Maybe it's just dedicated to everything that's coming right around the corner, like Spider-Man, Final Fantasy 16. They did say there's another surprise game coming this year as well. There will be Spider-Man 2 gameplay, no doubt in my mind. Thank you so much, Detective Seeds, man. Enjoy the graduation. Enjoy your day. I know we're going to enjoy everything we got coming and everything that's slated. Gonna be a good time. Sounds like someone hasn't played Diablo before. PlayStation has no games. Bore you by this video. Wow, loving it. Okay, hang on. Master Brain. The war against Master Brain. Rift Rangers? What is this? What is this game? Full Rift Rangers launch. Epic is developing it? No, it's a roguelite RPG. Okay. I'm calling heavy Spider-Man 2 Spider-Verse marketing in this showcase. Yeah, Insomniac Spider-Man is in that Spider-Verse movie. They keep saying that he's not, and they're lying. It sounds just like when Andrew Garfield said he wasn't in the Spider-Man movie. I was like, yeah, sure you're not. Uh-huh. Am I the only one who doesn't know these people's names intimately? If it's just me, I'll start taking notes, but I sometimes don't follow. What names specifically are we throwing out? A new Bungie game? I bet you Bungie's involved at some level. There were a bunch of questions about PlayStation's relationship with Bungie, and if you look at this slide, live service is a huge investment. Over here at the blue, by the end of fiscal year 2025, they want 60% of their investment into the live service model. So there's a lot of people that didn't like that slide. PlayStation 5 Slim reveal. There is no Slim. They are just unifying the SKU. The digital PlayStation 5 will be the only one you can buy. There is an optional external disk drive. That may get announced today, but it's not a Slim. Wayfinder was announced to be having global closed beta starting today. We can rule out that the Shadow Drop loot pool. Thrifty with a $5 super chat. Big prediction. Spider-Man delayed until November. Stellar Blade in September. Ace Combat 8 with PSVR 2 mode exclusively. Why would they delay Spider-Man till November? What would be the reason for that? Well, and it can't be delayed. They never gave a date. And didn't they say fall? I guess November would be winter, wouldn't it? Did they say fall or fourth quarter? I feel like that blog said fall, so that would be a delay, because I believe November falls outside of fall. It falls in the winter. So, but I don't know why they would delay it. I mean, and obviously they want it to be as amazing as possible. People didn't understand that slide, that live service is on top of what they're currently doing, and they're investing even more in the single-player stuff. Right, the thing to take notice of here, this 40, the reason it's taller than this 45 is because they're increasing their investment in traditional, okay? Actually higher than back here. Its percentage is going down because of just how much they're investing in live service. Polish? I just don't... That just feels like a gut prediction. I don't see any reason to make it other than your gut. You're like, I'm not seeing any reason to think that. Sony's got a little bit of swagger. I could see them wanting to land in September. Kick the stool out from under Starfield, steal all the press. Spider-Man's got pull, baby. I mean, he is globally the most iconic, most recognizable, most popular superhero. So he's gonna have pull no matter where he drops. Is it true that Yoshi P said that Final Fantasy 16 will not need a day one patch? Are we about to have our first complete game delivered in a long time? I mean, I don't know if they said it doesn't need it. They just said there won't be a day one patch. What's up, chat? What's Lono's take on Final Fantasy 16 being 30 FPS? It's not 30 FPS. The demo had open world areas at 30 and fights at 60. It's been confirmed that the open world areas will be at 60. Covered that yesterday in my Final Fantasy 16 live stream. I made allowances and said maybe it was just like this in the demo, and then other people said that there's been showcases and demos at other events where the open areas are not 30. So, Superman and Batman? No, you're factually incorrect. Superman and Batman are not more popular than Spider-Man. Go do any Google search you can come up with. Globally, Spider-Man kicks the living crap out of every other superhero. It's not even a competition. It just isn't. Now, you come to America, sure, people love Superman, but Superman's wrapped up in American iconography. Truth, justice, and the American way. When Superman hit the comic book shelves, I mean, he's holding an American flag, He's beating up, Russians and stuff. So, globally, Spider-Man absolutely dominates. It's not even remotely a competition. Spider-Man generates more revenue. He's more recognizable. He's more liked. It's just not even a competition. I'm saying this as somebody who grew up like Superman's my favorite. He's my favorite superhero. Do we get to see Twisted Metal tonight? Excuse me. Also, it may be a shadow drop for the TV show. I don't think you shadow drop any TV shows right now, Donnie. With the writer's strike, I don't know. I'd be worried about anything in the pipeline until all that gets figured out. So, truth, justice, and a better tomorrow now? Yeah, you can't say truth, justice, and the American way. It puts a lot of the audience out, right? There's a Japanese Spider-Man Sentai series? Yeah. Batman's most popular? No. We've researched this like 5 separate times. Nobody comes close to Spider-Man. It's not really a competition. MK1 gameplay June 8th. Yes, yeah. Jeff Keighley confirmed for Summer Game Fest there'll be Mortal Kombat 1 gameplay at his event. Yes. As far as other third-party appearances, we've been moving through first-party, PSVR 2, and third-party. I don't have any other guesses for third-party games. If you guys have any, right? When does it start? I will be commenting. I will be co-streaming. It's at 4 p.m. Eastern, which is a little less than 5 hours from now. We will be going into a members-only waiting room before. Just Googled it, Spider-Man, then Batman, then Superman. Yeah, that's typically my findings as well, is that globally, Batman even wins over Superman, which is surprising. But again, it's all the American iconography attached to Superman hurts him. But again, are there any third-party games that I'm leaving out that you guys think will be there? Kingdom Hearts 4, Dragon Age 4... Jeff Grubb confirmed no Dragon Age. What's it called? It's not. He accidentally said Dragon Age Inquisition. A Wolf Heart or whatever the frick. I can't remember the name, the code name or the title of the new Dragon Age game. I can't remember what it is. Are there any other third-party games? Thanks, appreciate it. No problem. If you guys want to continue with us in that members-only waiting room, become a member right now, or hopefully people can give some more members. I'm going to give some members at the very end of the stream. I owe you guys 5 every 25 members, so currently I owe you like 40-something members. Call of Duty? No. Metal Gear? Yes. We know that'll be there. Silent Hill 2, I think that's a good guess. Yes. Matter? No. Forspoken 2, no, because the DLC is just about to come out. Black Ops, no. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I've seen that in other prediction blogs and articles. MK1, Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, Rank the 3. I don't really play those games. Yeah, Dreadwolf, thank you. Dragon Age Dreadwolf will not be there, according to Jeff Grubb. He said that and Ghost of Tsushima 2 in the same breath. He's like, yeah, they're not going to be there. Hoping to snag a membership. Chat, we got people in chat with great names. We got to get... We're reconnecting. Okay, that's going to be a pretty big blip. We just switched ingest servers. YouTube sometimes does that. So there'll be a big blip. There will be a follow-up blip. If anything gets weird, if people in chat are complaining about audio, just tell them to refresh. Every once in a while, YouTube does that. They shuffle ingest servers. It doesn't happen that often, so that'll probably be the only time today that it happens. Yeah, chat will stay whenever that happens. We just got bumped to a different ingest server. Wonder if they mentioned the Shantae remake. YouTube crapped out on me. Yeah, just refreshed. Resident Evil 9 tease. Actually, he says he thinks they're not going to be there. I really hope he's wrong. I need Ghost of Tsushima 2. Here's why you're not going to see Ghost of Tsushima 2, okay? Here's why you're not going to see Ghost of Tsushima 2. They want Rise of Ronin to stand tall, and Ghost of Tsushima 2 would make that really, really hard. Predator with a gifted member, taking us to 213. Guys, usually when we have blips like that, it really hurts the viewership. So make sure you're doing all the things that help the video. Smash like, gift some members, help us bounce back from that blip. If there's a follow-up blip, that's just typical when we shuffle ingest servers. Just refresh, and everything will be fine. Tempting fate by saying that's the only time it's going to happen today. Oh. Hello, Reforge. Hope you well. What's up, chat? Hype levels are getting to me. Trying to keep expectations low, but it's hard. Yo, what's good, TJ? Triz. 200 yen from Jeffrey Richards. Euden Chronicles and Suikoden 1 and 2. HD 2D remake. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Not a bad prediction. I mean, there's always a chance that titles like that decide to show up. Jack 4. Osiris has been begging for Jack 4. Duncan says, let's get 1,000 likes. Yeah, remember to switch back to live chat. Yeah, I think Resident Evil 4 PSVR 2 will be there. This PSVR 2 slide shows Beat Saber. I wouldn't be surprised if Beat Saber's there, and I wouldn't be surprised if Resident Evil 4 VR is there. Half-Life Alyx VR could be there. That could be really good. YouTube getting ready for the In Russia people. That's right. They're probably refreshing ingest because they know it's going to be a big day. Viewership's huge today. Love to see it. Thank you. A new Middle-earth game would be nice. Middle-earth Enterprises just handed the rights to a Lord of the Rings MMO that can include The Hobbit and the 3 Lord of the Rings books to Amazon Games. Amazon Games Orange County will be making it. Same studio that makes New World. So I don't know if they have any other planned games in the pipeline. That Gollum game looks freaking terrible. I don't know. I have no idea why that was even made. Yo, Predator gifts another one. He says, come on, guys. Jump on a member train. Don't leave Predator out here hanging on his own. You guys can do them one at a time. You don't got to do the big bombs. There's so many people here. $5 affords somebody else an entire month of members-only content. Can we talk about Lord of the Rings again? No. Changing the name for part 2 of Ghost of Tsushima 2. Ghost of Tsushima is dumb. Geralt's moniker, Butcher of Blaviken, doesn't get changed if he slaughtered another mob somewhere else. Oh, I don't think they'll change it to Ghost of Tsushima. They won't change it off of Ghost of Tsushima. Look, I'll show you why. Ghost of Tsushima was on a lot of the slides in their presentation last night, okay? So let's just look. Is it on this one? Where did it show up? PlayStation Studio titles. D Dizzle's jumping on the member train. Floyd Slave is jumping on the member train. Both gifting members. They say, we're not going to leave a man hanging. $2.16. It's $5, man. If you're going to tip me $5, just gift a member instead. Give somebody that blessing. There's a lot of folks here that love the show, right? They love the show. All right, right here. So right here, foundations of growth. They have console growth, then they have portfolio expansion. Ragnarok, Last of Us, Forbidden West, Ghost of Tsushima is included here. So they consider Ghost of Tsushima part of their portfolio expansion. I can't see them changing the name. It's iconic, right? Now I know they did that with Horizon, right? Horizon Zero Dawn, then Horizon Forbidden West, but it retained Horizon. I don't see them moving away from that. That would be very odd in my mind, right? Then, if you come down here, that's movies, so that doesn't count. Where was the other one? Yeah, here's another one. Right here. A more diverse first-party portfolio. And this is in live service. So they want to grow first-party and portfolio diversity, okay? So single-player game catalog, live services game catalog. And Ghost of Tsushima is listed right there. Jeremy with 4 months, and it's a VIP. Thank you. 18 May with a $5 super chat tip. To say Spider-Man franchise is the biggest is crazy. Just Batman's worth $30 billion. That's almost as big as the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. No one said that. I never said that it was worth more. Annually, I believe Spider-Man generates more money. Now, long-standing, if you add up which one's worth more, valuation, I don't know how old Batman is, if it's been out longer. There's also more Batman movies. I believe there's been more Batman TV shows. So we're talking about popularity, right? And Spider-Man's not part of the MCU because of the rights dispute. So that, again, might not be a fair comparison. As far as I know, we weren't debating worth. We were debating popularity. So, total franchise worth of Batman being higher than Spider-Man is not that compelling because it came out first. It's a far longer standing, character. How's Spidey not in the MCU? They almost ripped him completely out of the movies because they were trying to secure their own movies with him. There was a big rights dispute with him. So, but I don't think they changed the name. Like, just look at what they did. Horizon, it's great iconography. God of War, right? Uncharted, Ghost. Like, they might change it to Ghost of something, right? Ghost of Ikishima is what they named that DLC, did they not? So I think they're going to stick to that labeling, Ghost of Ikishima. I believe that's what they named it. Did they have that made up as a logo? Yeah, they did. Ghost of Ikishima. Oh no, they called it Ghost of Tsushima Iki Island. I thought they called it Ghost of Ikishima. I think maybe we just did that shorthand. I thought I saw stuff that said Ghost of Ikishima, but this, I'm pretty sure this is official. I think this is official branded stuff. Oh, that's terrible quality. Yeah, this is the image that everybody was using everywhere when the pressers came out. So I thought they called it Ghost of Ikishima. Ghost of Tsushima Iki Island is how they how they branded it. Looks like, and that came baked in to the director's cut as well. So I don't think they dropped that. It's too recognizable. They are wrong. Spider-Man's IP is worth $27 billion. Batman's worth $26 billion. Spidey still wins. Yeah, it's hard to measure. I mean, I don't know where you guys are pulling these numbers, but I would wager a guess that Spider-Man goes toe-to-toe with Batman with very little problem. What if they announce the Pro? They will not announce the Pro. PlayStation 5 Pro is estimated to arrive fourth quarter next year, which means they would announce it in the middle of next year. Their projections for PlayStation 5 market saturation would get pretty disrupted if they announced a PS5 Pro now. Because if you announce the PS5 Pro now, then you encourage a lot of people to wait, right? I believe the unification of the SKU down to one PS5 model, the digital model with the external drive, they may talk about that and then that's one of the reasons production can increase. That's keeping costs down. Then you only have to buy that one. That's I think what you'll end up hearing about. Yo, Predator gifting another member, and it goes to Sony Kent and takes us to 217 on the day. Thank you so much, Predator. So I don't think they announced the PS5 Pro. That wouldn't make much sense to do that today. They do it in the middle of next year, and they start taking pre-orders. It lands fourth quarter. They drop the price of the PS5. That's perfect for, late next year around the holiday. If you want some Sony Blue instead of red, no, I like mine. Yeah, no, I like mine, dude. My red live just punches you right in the eyeball. I think mine's good. The handheld and the Pro in the same showcase, can't see it. I think the handheld is there. I do. Floyd, this guy today jumped in as a brand new member and is just continuing to be generous to others and pay it forward. 218 members. Thank you so much, Floyd. Slave gifted one to Caleb Mack. Thank you so much for that. How would you even go about making a Superman game? Yeah, we've debated the Superman game thing up one side, down the other. The only way to make a Superman game is to make him not Superman. Like, who wants to play a Superman game where he's not Superman? What's he gonna do? Just run around and punch everybody one time? Get shot a bunch by guns and nothing happens? Like, you have to weaken him, and if you weaken him, then he's not Superman. So what's the point? I think an Iron Man game stands to do much better. An Iron Man game would stand to be much stronger. Now I know that's not DC, but again, that's just my take on it. Okay, currently I owe you guys 40. Let me add 40 to the total and see where that puts us. Let me add 40 to the total and see where that puts us on the count. 3385. So 15 to the 3, 400, and then that would leave 25. 3425. You guys are 575 away from the beard shave. 575. Well, no, not 575, because I always got to give 5 every time. I think you guys are about 500 away. Just about. DK Baker gifts a member. There it is. 219. We could have a record-breaking moment. Hulk video game would be so cool. I mean, okay, yeah, maybe, but I feel like it would just turn into a destruction simulator. Yo, Monsoon got it. So good to see Monsoon get the membership. Nice. Bungie's helping Sony evaluate live service games with a rigorous review process, says PlayStation Studios boss Herman Holst. There's speculation that the rigorous review process, because of Bungie, is why Deviation Games got canceled. Bungie and Sony... Sony's publishing it. Thank you for another gifted member, Stone Spire Hall, taking us to 220. They were publishing it. Sony was publishing the Deviation game, and then people are speculating that it went through the rigorous review process, and they were like, no. That lines up with what Creature heard on that one podcast, where they were like, we're hearing whispers that they showed the game to PlayStation, and they were like, this ain't it. John L. Brokey coming in. Thank you so much. He gives a member, and it goes to Wheezy Doe, taking us to 221. A Hawkeye game would make sense. I don't know if they want to really lean into like another game with a bow. That might not be a good idea. That might not be a good idea. Like, why lean into the meme anymore, right? That's, Osiris gifts a member. See, these people believe. They believe in it. They're all gifting one member at a time. They're saying it. They're like, listen, if about 400 of you decide to do that, it's $5. We could hit this thing out of the park. These guys believe in breaking a record today. Superman open world game done right destroys anything you could imagine. Oh, I don't agree. As a huge Superman fan, I don't agree. I just... His speed and his strength doesn't translate well into a game. Predator says, keep the train going. He's not letting this thing slip. He pushes it to 223. He wants you guys to catch the vision. Bloodborne Remastered, I believe it's a remake. Bloodborne Remake is coming. Here's what I think happened. Osiris says, shave the damn beard. Here's what I think happened. I think they were working on a Bloodborne Remaster, and they stopped because of what they did with The Last of Us Remaster pitted against the Demon Souls remake. And that's why I think all the rumors about Bloodborne are all over the place. I think there was a remaster in process at some point. Production was halted, and they decided, no, we want to go the remake route like we would Demon Souls. Lone Wolf wants to keep the train going. He gifts a member. Let's go. It goes to Geo. Good to see it go to somebody who was already being positive in here. Thank you so much. Takes us and puts us right on the doorstep. See, this is the time to drop a big member bomb. YouTube, what is this? We just server switched again. Jiminy Christmas, YouTube. This is not the day for this. This is not the day for this. Figure it out, YouTube. We reconnect right away. Jiminy Christmas. It's not on my end. I don't have any control over it. We reconnect and everything's fine. So you're just going to have to refresh. And YouTube does not like people gifting. Yeah, I don't know. I truly don't know. Let me just double check. I don't have anything running in the background. I don't have anything pulling. I don't have anything pulling internet. Yeah, we're just getting dropped and picked right back up again. It's 100%. It's 100% on YouTube's end. It's not something that I have any control over. Bloodborne Remake using the Demon Souls engine. Lone Wolf gifts another member. He says, we can't be stopped, and he lands the plane firmly on 225. Keep the gift, it's coming, man. It keeps us from losing viewers. If the gifteds keep going and the likes keep going, hit another like milestone. Now's a great time to do it. We only need 50 more likes for 700. We can bounce back. I was nervous about that app update. YouTube's just trying its absolute best to crap the bed today. I was really worried about some of the problems we had yesterday. I'm like, YouTube, this is one of the worst times to experiment and make changes. Don't freaking do it, because there's a big showcase. Lots of people are going to come to the platform. 2 more gifted members. Thank you so much. Takes us to 227. And that means 250 is the next milestone. I owe you 5 gifteds every 25. Thank you so much. You guys are absolutely on fire today. Why are you always lying? We know you have something running in the background, downloading all your research. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we hit 29,000 early this morning. Yeah. We're well on our way to 30,000 subscribers. Stone Spire is going to gift a member to keep everything rolling. Thank you so much. It goes to Iron Lord Reptar. And 5 gifted members from Floyd Slave. He says, all right, guys, it's time to pick up the pace. He says, it's time to pick up the pace. No more singles. It's time for the big ones. An update on this. Jez Corden reporting, I've heard that in addition to Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake, there will also be a new classic collection that comprises Metal Gear 1, 2, and 3. Well, there you go. There you go. He's claiming that it's more than just the Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake. There's going to be a classic collection of 1, 2, and 3. They need to include 4. Lono Bear, he pumped for Mr. Todd Howard. Remember Lono? Captain Kirk? Hey, that's next week. We'll get there. We'll get there. I'm excited. I'm hoping for a really good Xbox showcase. I really am. But there's no reason to talk about today. Yo, Nook! Nook says, I'll drop a big one. 20! A 20 bomb right there blows past the 250 milestone, blows all the way past it. This man is crazy. That's a big one. Who's going to outdo him? Who's going to show him up? That's the biggest one on the board right now, is a 20 bomb. That's absolutely massive. We've got some heavy hitters in the chat. They might try to take the crown from you. That's a big one, Nook. Awesome. And thank you so much. That's incredible. Guys, let's match the gift of generosity with likes here, man. Let's hit that 700 likes. We only need 26 more. Help us bounce back from all the nonsense. My man. A full collection remake I like. Yeah, I mean, I don't... To me, if they're going to do that, I wonder if they're just going to move through all of them slowly but surely, right? How long till the showcase starts? About 4 hours and 20 minutes. About 4 hours and 20 minutes. Lono's face will look like Creature's head by the end of this stream. What? We're going to, in about an hour, we're going to go hang out with members in a members-only waiting room. Okay? And then we'll come back and we'll do a public stream of the PlayStation Showcase. We will do a public co-stream. So today's a great day. Today's a great day to become a member and to gift members, to bring all those people with us to that waiting room. Have we started talking about the showcase yet? We've been talking about the showcase for the last 2 hours. We talked about first-party games that'll be there, PSVR 2 games that'll likely be there, third-party games. I talked about live service, how Bungie might be there. Here's a question for you guys. Do you think PC games are a part of the presentation? Do you think? Can we come into the lounge if we're not members? No, it'll literally be a members-only waiting room. You can watch the PlayStation Showcase with us as a non-member. That happens at we'll do that at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. When we break and we go into the waiting room and we're waiting there to go into there, no, you need to be a member. That'll be a members-only stream. Yo, Kenneth gifts a member. He says, look, guys, we can still keep chiseling away this one at a time. Don't be daunted by the member bombs. He gives one member and it goes to Green Lantern. No PC announcements. You guys think the PC announcements will be during Summer Game Fest? Okay. How much does it cost to be a member? $5. Lono can grow a beard on command like Chuck Norris. No, I cannot. PC might get a sizzle reel, but I can't see them devoting time to PC, given the current narrative surrounding prioritizing console users. I think the exact same thing, Eugene. I think they'll get a mention. Maybe, as you said, maybe a sizzle reel. Maybe they'll say the next one on the docket's Ghost of Tsushima. Maybe they do that. But again, I don't know if they want to overshadow Rise of Ronin in any way. But I could see it getting a mention. Because it was a part of the Sony webcast, right? It was a part of the Sony webcast. And, Spider-Man did incredibly well. Last of Us, not so much. I'm not really impressed by that. That's not surprising given how crappy it was. There's significant year-over-year growth for first-party titles on PC. And so I could see it getting a mention. But given Jim Ryan's comments and PlayStation 5 getting priority and saying gamers find it acceptable to land 2 to 3 years later, I don't see it getting more than, like you said, like a sizzle reel. D Blaha with a $10 super chat tip says, need to see Castlevania. There was a rumor, it was reported that back in 2020, Sony acquired the rights to a Konami title, and, Japanese retailers have listed Assassin's Creed Mirage with an October 12 release date. Really? Got some more leaks coming out. That could be Castlevania. If your stream is skipping, Nova, just refresh. We've had a couple of hiccups. Found something funny on Twitter. I'm gonna tag you in it. Okay. Give Keighley the PC releases and keep the console stuff for their state of plays. That's not a bad strategy. Let Keighley have some of those PC releases. Did they let him do? Did he do Returnal PC at the Game Awards? Was that him? When did we hear about that? I can't remember when we heard about Returnal PC. Predator says, guys, don't forget the number in the corner. He's telling y'all to get involved. He just keeps poking it. So generous today, Predator. Thank you so much. One gifted at a time. That'll get us there. Raj Rana gets the gifted. Thank you so much for being here. Maya says, I'm more of an Xbox girl. Do you think it's worth getting a membership to your channel since you're a PS5-centric channel? I'm not a PS5-centric channel. I cover everything. So, you probably heard that on Twitter, right? You also made your account 1 month ago. So, you suspect. Sounds like you're on an alt. Do you think they will have a small snip for the new content of God of War? Oh, the Game Plus stuff, the new Game Plus stuff? No, I don't think so. I think we might see that side Atreus game that a lot of us have speculated that they'll be making. I feel like all that they invested in with the Atreus movesets, the skill trees, the combat, I would say there's a pretty good likelihood that we end up seeing that game show up as well. Everyone, tonight when the Rockstar logo shows up for the PlayStation Showcase, only to be for GTA 5 VR version. That's good, Duncan. That's good. That's pretty good. Busted. Yeah, like, don't come in here. I know you're probably on an alt because you're upset. Maybe, I don't know, am I getting more viewership than you? So you're gonna come in and be upset that we're having a big day because of the PlayStation Showcase, and I would maybe try and trigger me in defending myself and showing my channel and the diversity of content that I upload and stream. I don't know. But focus on your own content. Maybe you'll be more successful. I'd be down for that. I mean, listen, if you're gonna do something with GTA, the pattern is set. Like, they actually really enjoy having GTA as part of their showcases. They do. Like, there's a pattern of involvement. No, I'm good, Mama. No, I'm fine. I agree. They're gonna do a collection, do it right. Is it true that you're actually Kane from Diablo? No, I'm not Deckard Kane. No, that's a lie. That's a fault. That is a rumor being spread. That's not true. GTA first person mode would be a good fit for VR. GTA VR would be very expensive on the hardware. I don't know about that. I don't know. There's a real danger in showing the Rockstar logo and then that being your announcement, right? I don't know. That might not go over very well. You know, stay a while and listen. The Herodric Cube will help us defeat Diablo, and the PlayStation Showcase is going to be an absolute banger. $4.99, a $5 tip. Super chat tip from Floyd Slave. Any chance of an Onimusha reboot? I don't know what game that is. Sorry. So I don't have a comment. I don't know. By the GTA 6 drops, I'll be already starting a family. By the time we already get it, that's right. When GTA 6 finally gets here. Listen to me though. According to that's a PlayStation 2 title. It's old Capcom game. Yeah, see, I was not in the PlayStation ecosystem until Spider-Man. I got into the PlayStation ecosystem with Spider-Man and the PS4 Pro. So I missed out on a lot of those titles. Yeah. He's just gonna keep the Deckard going. No, I'm not gonna do that. You'd have Soups fighting robots and going up against rogues like Metallo, Parasite, and Doomsday in order to keep it interesting. Listen, man, I'm not trying to dash your dreams. But I'm here to tell you, you're not getting a Superman game. If you do, I'll be happy to play it. I love Superman. You laugh at GTA VR, but they did cease a mod on that made GTA VR. Oh, they did a cease and desist on a mod? Huh. That's interesting. Starting a family sounds like you need to get your priorities straight. Yeah, who would start a family? Just play video games. I always choose you to watch these big events with you because you're not negative when reacting, and a lot of streamers are negative and talk during the whole show. Yeah, if you guys watch the PlayStation Showcase with us, I do my best to not talk over it. I'll say like little comments during and after, like very brief. And sometimes I'll turn it down and have things to say if there's nothing really going on. But I put myself down in the corner. I make myself pretty small, and then I don't talk over it. I heard from this person that you pump up PS5 and trash Xbox, but I'm still here to see for myself. I haven't seen that yet. I'm not familiar with that person. I'm not familiar with that person, but I do not trash Xbox. You can't find a single stream where I trash Xbox. So That's just a false narrative that people run on Twitter, either out of jealousy or their own tribalism on Twitter because they live there terminally. If you look at this channel historically, you'll find evidence to the contrary. It's funny how investigation and fact-finding always proves claims like that false, almost every time. $5 tip from Nanette Vargas. Do you think Persona is going to be there? Maybe. I'm not a Persona guy, so I don't have a whole lot of opinion or care about that. I know Persona has a huge pull, so I'm familiar with that person, and I very much doubt that. Yeah, isn't that the person you've shown me a few times, Creature? I don't think Marlon would do that. He doesn't strike me as the kind of content creator who would do that. Is that the guy we've checked out a few times? He does a show during the same time as us? I don't think that's true. I think you're misquoting Marlon. That doesn't sound like his style. It sounds like you're trying to start stuff. I tell you what. I'll make up my mind for you. Yins can't stay. You trash games and you praise good ones. Doesn't matter where they land. Lono may give constructive criticism to a console, but I've never heard him fanboy in any direction. I've never trashed Xbox. I made predictions about the Series S. I made predictions about third parties avoiding the ecosystem. Those things are coming true. I've made predictions about Game Pass driving developers away from the platform. Jez Corden himself reported on that recently. Every single time I said things like that, I got called a pony and an Xbox hater. They were merely observations of the market, is all they were. They were observations and predictions about the market. So I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings or upsets you. A lot of those things are coming to fruition. So I told you so, and get out. Like, that's my attitude towards people that want to summarize my content like that. Like, I've done nothing but simply make observations and predictions about where the market's going to trend, and look where we're sitting. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? The hardware sales and the projections speak for themselves. The quality of games, hitting, they speak for themselves. Like, it's so easy to speak in facts when the facts support your position, and when you have to speak in slanderous, libelous name calling, it's because you got no facts in your corner. Void Slave with a $5 super chat tip. Any chance of KOTOR news today? No. KOTOR is I don't see that thing is dead in the water as far as we know. I don't see it. I don't see it being a part of today's showcase. So I think Lono has trashed the decisions that Xbox leadership has made, rightfully so, which is causing issues with the platform, therefore hurt us as the gamer. Yeah, like, if you're upset, like me calling out their over-reliance on Game Pass, me calling out their decision to do the Series S, like me calling out their insistent on games being successful only on Game Pass on their system, like me calling that out and saying, like, that's short-sighted and not going to be good for your ecosystem, it turns out I was right. So, like, what do you want me to say? If you're upset, take it up with Xbox, take it up with Phil Spencer. Jez Corden said Xbox should pull out of the UK and take Windows off computers there. Yeah, when he was saying all that, I don't think he was saying they should. He was saying they could, FCAT. When he said they could do that. I don't think he's understanding the ramifications of doing that. Let's start a geopolitical nightmare over video games. Real good strategy. I think as our ally, they'd pick up the phone, and then that was he was speaking in could language. They could do this. Would they or should they? No, they would not. They would not. Let's cause a global incident over video games. Sounds like a good idea. People are either new or eluding Lono's praises of both systems. If anything, Lono's anti-PC. I'm a PC user and he has his own views. That's his choice. I'm not crying over it. I still enjoy his streams. Me being anti-PC is more of like a preference irritation thing. It just, I get irritated over there. Driver this and bad performance that. Listen, I'm a dum-dum, bro. I'm a dum-dum. I've read more books than I can count. I've got 2 degrees, but when it comes to that stuff, I am a dum-dum. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to fiddle with it. I don't want to open a config file. I don't want to go do driver's research. I don't want to add hardware, pull hardware out. I don't want to touch any of that. I'm dum-dum, straight up dum-dum. I want to plug it in and I want it to work. I turn straight caveman when a piece of technology doesn't work. I want to punch it. So me being anti-PC is not like, I'm not like against, you call me a console peasant. Like Alex is, calling me a console peasant. I'm not a console peasant. I'm a consumer that takes the path of least resistance. Like every other consumer out there. Right? You want to tinker? You want to count your frames? You want to upgrade your hardware? You want to ride the front of the wave, right? You want to do all that? Man, go for it, bro. Not me. I got no interest in that. And no interest in that. Next video clip hit piece is Lono saying he's a dum-dum and people only showing that part. I mean, I don't care. Floyd Slave with a $5 super... I'm sorry, $5 gifted member. $5 gifted member. 5 members. I can't talk. 260 on the day. Keep it going. We are going to be going to a waiting room in about 30 minutes. You guys got about a half an hour to push that member count as high as you can. Preach Lono, I work with PCs all day long and I still don't want to deal with any of that. I get annoyed when I have to wait on console updates. Yeah. Furious about it. I hate when people like this get gifted. It's your fan base that's hateful, not you. You have examples of this fan base being hateful? I've seen many cheerleaders. Let me clue you in on something. Colby, let me clue you in on something. Twitter is not my audience. Do some simple math, okay? Get yourself a calculator, all right? And I want you to subtract the 500 followers I had on Twitter before I had my little blow up on Twitter over ABK and all the Sony fans started loving me, right? Subtract the 2,000 or like the 2,200 or so, people that I've gained on Twitter, okay? We've had about a 2,000 follower growth on Twitter. I want you to compare that to the 25,000 subscribers that I had on this channel before that all happened. And I want you to ask the question, where's his core audience? Is it the 25,000 people that were already subbed to him and supporting him and tuning into his content prior to his ABK coverage? Or is it the piddly little 2,000 followers he gained on Twitter? Basic arithmetic, logic, and just being a reasonable person would tell you that the people on Twitter aren't my audience. They're cheerleaders who like the vibe of my approach to talking about ABK and Xbox. They dig it, and they vibe with me. And that's fine. That's not my audience. That's not my audience. I found you on Tickety in December, and I've been watching you ever since. Love to see your growth. Couldn't have generalized. I appreciate that. The people here that hang out here every day, they don't have a clue of any of that crap going on Twitter, right? Gaz the other day did that. He tried to summarize, like, oh yeah, your audience, you're going against your audience. You don't know frick about my audience, bro. You didn't know who I was 2 months ago. My audience was here, loving gaming coverage, 25,000 strong. Have a little blow up on Twitter, and you think you know my audience? You don't know my audience. I would say 90% of my audience doesn't even go on Twitter. They can't stand the stench. Right? Stay dumb, Twitter. You dumb. They can't stand the stench. You want to come in here and summarize my audience and insult them? You're talking about people who have 2-year member badges. You're talking about people who have 1-year member badges. So I'm going to talk my a little bit and tell you to sit down and check your facts before you start talking about my audience and my content. You're grifting is what you're primarily doing when you do that. You don't know me. You don't know my audience. You barely know how to make content. I'm not talking about Gaz, by the way. He's just one person that made that presumption in a long line of people. Get out of here with that. I'm from Twitter, but I'm also a pony. Listen, there's plenty of people from Twitter who have come here and hung out. That's not my core audience. That's not my core audience. I had 25,000 subscribers before I had my little blow up on Twitter. You know, miss me with that. That's not my audience, bro. Carlos Guerrero with 3 months. I've watched you since the Destiny days before they did what they did. You have proved them wrong. I'm now a member, but you're awesome. I appreciate that. Lono is balanced. I see you wait until you gather all the facts before making content on a subject. Yeah, like, if you guys expect me to cover something when it breaks, I don't do that either. I literally wait and I gather all the facts, right? When the EU approved, I didn't cover it that day. Gathered the facts, covered it the next day. When Sony announced their showcase, I didn't break that news. I gathered the information and I covered it the next day. That's the pattern, baby. If I'm a Sony pony, don't you think I would break the Sony PlayStation showcase as soon as the news breaks? No, I kicked it to the next day, just the same as I do everything else. Eugene says, 2 years ago, you couldn't cover PlayStation news. This community was so Xbox heavy, Lono couldn't even cover PlayStation news. Yeah, you don't know me. You don't know my audience. You're just speaking out of turn. You're speaking out of turn. Tommy Humphreys with 18 months. It's a member plus. We out here loving the haters. I appreciate the measured analysis, says Broken Lobo. Not sure if the ABK deal is what turned me onto this channel. Either way, Twitter's a cesspool. I've curated my Twitter timeline very well. I'll tell you what happened, Broken Lobo. Did we get some coffee orders? Wooly gave me some love on Twitter, and then Guap gave me some love on Twitter. They clipped some stuff, threw it on Twitter, and I freaking explode. It just exploded. It wasn't even me. And then I started clipping stuff from my ABK coverage and throwing it on there because it was driving people here. It was driving numbers, and that's what got me labeled a Sony pony. That's what happened. People don't know that. They have no idea. They're like, oh, yeah, he just started to blow up because of ABK. No, I had 25,000 subscribers before that even happened. We were in a great spot, and we still are, and we're going to continue to be. These people are just making stuff up. Yo, thank you so much, Balake. You didn't use a username, so I'm going to call you Balake. Ordered some coffee. Thank you for ordering some coffee. He grabbed 2 bags of the light roast. Thank you very much, sir. Justin Cardwell. I'm an Xbox guy, and they're forcing me to get a PlayStation 5. Tired of going to my friends to have fun for gaming. Thank you so much for the $5 Super Chat tip. Woolie's why I'm here. We're on TSGP together, and his Twitter went nuts with your clip. Yeah. You know, you want the truth? Not only Lono's late, but he's always fashionably late. That's right. Do you want the truth about what happened? The ABK coverage was so abysmal. The Xbox Activision deal coverage was so utter garbage trash that me speaking just basic facts was a tinderbox of this guy's talking truth. That's all it took. That's how bad the coverage was. It was literally just me speaking straight about it. I was like, I don't know what the frick everybody's talking about. Sony's got a fiduciary duty. All they're doing is protecting their interests. That's what got me in the limelight. Saying that. Woo, what a hot take that was. Think about that. In gaming coverage land, I use the word fiduciary duty, and I talk about Sony has a right to protect their stuff. They have a right to protect their interests. And your coverage was so bad that that's what rose to the surface. It ain't my fault the tide line was so dadgum low. That ain't on me. That ain't on me, brother. If your coverage is that bad, a basic delivery of truth rises above it. That's all it took. I didn't do anything special. I was just like, what's the big deal here? What, Sony's crying? What do you mean Sony's crying? That was it. That was my pushback. That's what took off on Twitter. That's so freaking lukewarm. That's so lukewarm. That's nothing. I didn't get into like some knockdown drag out fight with somebody. I didn't get into like a diss track. I didn't get into like a diss track trade with people. That's not what it was. It was literally me explaining fiduciary duty to people. They have a right to protect about 13% of their revenue stream. You can't say that. Duty. Oh my gosh. Breaking Assassin's Creed Mirage is listed with a release date of October the 12th with Japanese retailers. Yeah, I saw that, Duncan. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you so much, Super Titan. Lono got bars, though? I do not. Who Lono firing shots at? I'm not firing shots at anybody. I was explaining to people that they think my audience is the crap they see on Twitter. It's like, that's not my audience. That's not my audience. Somebody who really loves Sony will grab one of my tweets and be like, yeah, I love this guy. Okay, thanks, man. That's not my audience. We'll also say your streams got me to vote with my wallet and sell my Xbox in favor of PS5. Your coverage has been nothing short of exceptional. I appreciate that, Raven. Thank you. That's never been my goal to get you to go to one side. I go where the games are. Calling me a console peasant? Alex, I love you, but, like, miss me with that, bro. I am not a console peasant. I've been PC gaming since before your thighs came out, right? Like, I was building PCs in college, right? I'm not a console peasant. When you have 2 gaming rigs, a Nintendo Switch, 2 PS5s, and an Xbox Series X, you can't really call me a console peasant. I just have preferences that don't align with yours. That's all. That's all. I got 2 rigs with 2080 Ti's in them. I can play on my rig. I can play on my PC. I just prefer not to. It's a preference thing. It is. And then listen, saying that PC gamers weren't mad about Jim Ryan's comments, bruh, are you paying attention to your supposed audience, Mr. Alex? He's going to be here on Friday. I'm just warming up, big boy. Did you pay attention to your audience? They were losing their minds on Twitter. They were angry. That's what prompted my entire rant. You should do PlayStation games day and date. What? No. We invested in these games, these properties. We invested in our ecosystem. Frick off with that. You'll get it when you get it. And if you don't want to wait, then buy a PS5. Floyd Slay with a $5 Super Chat chip. Any predictions on surprise announcements? Can't wait. I mean, Bloodborne's going to be a surprise announcement, I think, for some people. I've been predicting GTA 6 is there. I've been predicting that. Like, the other thing that Alex didn't consider is, day and date would be so much better. If you actually look at the tech trends in the PC world, a lot of the games won't even run on the majority of the PCs that are out there. How are they as audience? If you make content for people who play on PC, and people who play on PC are really angry on Twitter that they're not getting PlayStation games day and date, those are people that like your content. You can't act like nobody was mad about PlayStation 5 games not coming to PC day and date, especially when you're out here saying that they should do it. It feels like you're saying 2 different things to me. Yes, Alex is coming on the show on Friday. Because we're friends. We don't see eye to eye on this. We do not see eye to eye on this at all. His argument about Nixus, it falls flat. It's like that still elongates the project, my man. Just because they already paid to buy Nixus, what do you think keeps Nixus going? Production costs. What do you think happens when you take a company like Nixus and you do parallel development on a game while it's in development by somebody like, I don't know, Santa Monica? It elongates the project because now Santa Monica has to work in tandem with Nixus. You just elongated the project, shrunk margins. It's not going to come to fruition in the time that you want it to. Shrinking margins makes the project less lucrative. And Nixus, if you're paying attention, the porting companies underneath PlayStation's umbrella, what do? They take complete products and they port them over. Why? Because everything we've heard from virtually every developer that's talked about this, making for one system, you can optimize it better. It can come to market more efficiently and faster. That's better for your margins, that's better for your profit, and you maintain your console's demand. Predator with a $2 tip. The move is PS5, PC, and Switch. Thank you so much for the $2 Super Chat tip. So do you understand? It's like, yes, they own Nixus, but that doesn't negate what I said. Like, oh, they've already spent the money. It's not going to make it cost anymore. Yes, it would. The scope of the project gets bigger and longer and costs more money, shrinking margins if you do parallel development. Just because you own Nixus doesn't mean that removes that reality. And it goes against your aims. Let's invest in growing Insomnia, Santa Monica, Guerrilla, all these companies. Let's invest in growing them and having first-party property, and let's drop it day and date on PC. That'll be really good for consumer confidence in the PS5. That'll be really good for our projections for PS5 market saturation. You're talking out of turn. They come later. And listen, all I was advocating for was don't rush. Don't rush the ports, because The Last of Us port was a dadgum disaster, and don't do day and date. Don't do parallel development. Costs more money, but they get more money back from PC purchases. But Cliffo, it goes against their aims. Number one, that presumption, you don't know if they would make that money back. You also don't know if elongating the project and doing parallel development wouldn't be a threat to the quality of the product when it hits the market. You don't know that. You're just presuming that they can do it. The system they're doing now, tell me something. What are the best ports from PlayStation? What are they? All of the ones that took a while and that were done with a completed product. What's the worst one? The one that came 6 months after the release of The Last of Us Part 1 remake and was likely parallel developed. Huh, that's interesting, isn't it? Almost as if one way of doing it is superior. And, as Eugene is saying, it hurts their hardware sales and margins on software. Like, this isn't difficult. It's a basic economic reality. Sony isn't interested in selling software. They're not. They're in the business of selling hardware and software. You cannot create diametrically opposed interests within that. It doesn't work. Look at what's happened to Xbox. Look what happened to Xbox. Horizon 1 was just as bad. No, it was not. Horizon 1 was not anywhere near the state of The Last of Us 1 port. That's a lie. Horizon Zero Dawn had specific issues with 60 frames per second because it was originally coded to be 30 FPS. So there was like clothing animations and world animations and character animations and facial animations that were coded at 30 FPS. That is not at all what was going on with The Last of Us. The Last of Us port was a freaking disaster. Days Gone, God of War 2018, Spider-Man Miles Morales, all stellar, rock-solid ports. Returnal, throw that one in the mix too. Got high praise from Digital Foundry. You cannot create a pattern here to justify day and date. You can't. There's no business impetus. It runs contrary to the interests of Sony. It just runs contrary to the interests of Sony. When they can sell 1.5 million Spider-Man remastered copies on PC, however many years after it came out, you don't think they're going to keep doing that? Maximize profits, maintain demand for their console. Have you seen the projections for their console saturation? It's surpassing the PlayStation 4. Do you have any idea how crazy that is? That's crazy. You want to mess that up? Start doing day and date on PC like Xbox and look at Xbox's hardware sales. Look at the demand. What do I need an Xbox for? What do I need an Xbox for? It's day and date on PC. 30% down. Xbox hardware distributions down 30%. Gee, I wonder why. You didn't create an impetus to buy your hardware. No strong first-party presence, and everything launches day and date on PC. I wonder why the Xbox hardware sales are down. It's a real conundrum. We're going to need to get Sherlock Holmes on this one. A lack of strong first-party presence and day and date on PC. 30% down on hardware sales for Xbox. It's a real thinker. The core utilization on Horizon is still dog water. That's a red herring to the larger picture, bro. Older game that was never created with the idea of bringing it to PC in mind. Going forward, that's not the case. They even changed pipeline on Ragnarok after they brought God of War 2018 to PC. It's the sole reason I don't own an Xbox. Right. How many people are in that situation? You literally give people a reason to not buy your hardware, and we're sitting here scratching our noggin. Who did Jim Ryan talk to? I don't know. The console owners who feel confident they're a first-class citizen. Maybe that. You know what happens when hardware sales drop? Accessory sales drop. Did you see how much they're making on accessories? Yeah, look at this. Look at this. Where is it? Oh, I'm too down far in the document. Hang on. Where is it? It's crazy what happens when you look at the facts and you look at the evidence. It's just absolutely bonkers. Look at the hardware. You see those red bars over there? Look at that. Total accessory revenue. Dude, look at the growth. 47% total. Come on, man. Take half the bar and stack it on top. That's what that 47% means. Listen to me. PlayStation, if you try to question, criticize, or complain about anything they're doing, you're just not reading. You're not paying attention. They're crushing it in everything they've tried to do. PSVR 2, accessories, software. They're weathering the $70 price hike extremely well. Even their PlayStation Plus and PlayStation Plus Premium subscriptions, we're getting hard numbers, unlike Microsoft. We'll never freaking know what's going on with Game Pass. It's profitable. Trust us. It's doing great. Trust us. Yeah? I got a graph from Sony. I know exactly what's going on with their subscription funnel, right? Where are you? Where are you, Xbox? Can we find out what's going on? Can we see? I don't have any doubts. They're not trying to keep this out of view of the public. $5 from Floyd Slave. Who else wants Metal Gear VR training for VR 2? PSVR 2 was a flop. That's facts. No, it's not. Anytime somebody ends a statement with "that's facts," I'm usually ready to be like, "Yeah, you're not speaking in facts." Yeah. Yep. Yeah, PSVR 2 was a flop. Up 8% over the VR in the slowest quarter of the year. Slowest quarter of the year. And only available on Sony's website. Yeah, it is a flop, bro. It's a total flop. It outpaced the PSVR 1 in the slowest quarter of the year, and they only had it available on Sony's website. You can't say that something like, we can't question Sony's decisions and say you're not a Sony guy. I think it's super fair for anyone to question their business model. Luis Castillo, when you rip things out of context, you come to really bad conclusions. I said, you can't question Sony's decisions when you look at the numbers, when you look at the hard facts. It's working, right? I question Microsoft's decision to do the Series S and the Game Pass push and day and date on PC and a lack of first-party property. And look at what happened. Look at their hardware sales. Like, do you see? In context, I was saying, if you look at the facts about how they treat their first-party property, how they treat their accessories, their hardware, how their PC ports have succeeded, if you look at the PSVR 2 facts, questioning their strategies doesn't make any sense. It's all working really well. I can question any decision? Okay, you guys are taking that statement far too literally. I wasn't saying, how dare you question Sony? Nobody questions the sacred Sony. I was saying, you look silly if you're going to be like, they shouldn't be doing this. They'd make more money if they did this instead. Homie, they're crushing it. What are you talking about? What they're doing is working really, really well. You want to try to make an economic argument, then go for it. But their interests are not as simple as sell lots of games. Like, they're in the business of distributing hardware. That's their catalyst. That's their funnel point, bro. Question everything but accept facts. Right, I'm not saying you can't question it. I've questioned Sony on bringing games to PC. I think 2 to 3 years is too long. I think the sweet spot's 18 months. I've held that position for a very long time. But then when I look at the numbers, I'm like, You can't argue with the numbers. Sony knows what they're doing. They're looking at the market. They're looking at the profit. They're looking at the money coming in. What do you want me to say? I have my opinion. I questioned it. I think 18 months is a sweet spot. You got Jim Ryan out here saying 2 to 3 years. I'm like, 2 to 3 years? Why would you wait that long? It doesn't take that long to port a game. Yeah, a year and a half is plenty of time. And then I look at the numbers and I say, well, okay, seems to be working. Keep doing what you're doing. They have more information than I do. They're more informed than I am. I don't know what the market projections were for Spider-Man if it would have come earlier, or God of War if it would have come earlier. And look what happens when it does come earlier. If it's not ready, it demolishes consumer confidence and it doesn't sell as well. In order for you to say that, you'd have to know what Microsoft's financial goals are. Without that, your opinion is strictly subjective. Right, my opinion is strictly subjective when I look at hardware sales dropping below the Xbox One. You think that Microsoft's goal was to do less than they did last time? I think that's a fair presumption and assumption. I think that's obvious that a business wants to increase their market share and increase their sales. You think they wanted to do less than they did last time? You think it's a subjective opinion to be like, well, maybe Microsoft didn't want to sell more consoles. Maybe Microsoft's okay with being in third place and having terrible market share. Maybe Microsoft wants to be less appealing to third-party, companies. Maybe Microsoft wants AA's and indies to be questioning whether or not they can thrive in an ecosystem that leans too heavily on Game Pass. That's from Jez Corden, by the way, not me. That's Windows Central saying that he's spoken with indie titles and AA studios that they're not confident in the Game Pass model. None of that's subjective to me. You can't question is more like you can't argue with. That's a better statement, Mr. Z. Yeah, you can't argue with the numbers. Okay, listen. We're getting up against the wall here. If you guys do 15 more members, I'll owe you, what would that be? 20, 35 members. If you get it all the way to 300, I'll owe you 40 members, okay? You got a little bit of time to do one last big push, drop some bombs, or every single person just gift one. Like one member, right? We'll blow the doors off this place. There's 972 people here. Let's hit a big number. If you can't gift a member or become a member, do me a favor, smash the like button. That is free. Let's hit 800 likes. We could probably hit 1,000 likes if you guys really go crazy. There's a lot of you who haven't hit the like button yet. The Xbox S and S is still the fastest selling Xbox in history. So what are you talking about? Man, just clutch those data points that don't matter anymore. It's the fastest selling Xbox in history. That data point doesn't matter anymore. Who cares about that? They're down 30%. It's projected to sell less than the Xbox One. Come on. That stat, I don't even know if that stat's accurate, by the way. I don't even know if that stat's accurate. Let's just say it's accurate. It doesn't matter right now. It's below the Xbox One. So if it was fastest selling, in the first month, who gives a frick? That doesn't mean anything now. SDO with the 2 spot. Half-Life Alyx for VR 2 needs to be announced today. Thank you. Thank you for the 2 spot. Oh boy! Here they come, Ghosts in the Garage Gaming. He says, I'll do a big one. And he takes us, with the help of Floyd Slave, takes us to 281. A big, fat 20 bomb. Another 20 bomb will do it, and it'll take us to 300. What a monster of a day. Putting us on the doorstep of 300 members. We're getting ready to go to a members-only stream. It's going to be a waiting room. We're going to hang out. We're going to take a little bit of a breather, and we're going to wait for the showcase. We're going to come back at 3:30, and we are going to do a showcase co-stream for the public. Anybody can watch the showcase co-stream. But I'm not going to sit here for 3 hours in view of the public. I'm not doing that. I like these streams to be under 3 hours. It's a mindset of what have you done for me lately? It's not even just a mindset of what have you done for me lately. It's where are you going? If the hardware projected saturation rates for the Xbox are going to fall below the Xbox One, homie, the world is watching. Third-party developers are watching. What do you think ABK really is? It's about mobile and cloud, but it's also the best way to stop the bleeding. You're going to get third-party devs saying, why optimize for over there? It's a split ecosystem. We got to do more work to put our game on the platform that has the least amount of market share. We have to do more work to land on a platform that makes it really hard to thrive if you're not on Game Pass, and they have the smallest market share. Bro, that's what ABK is all about. You're missing the forest for the trees if you don't see that. I disagree with your Den of Thieves comment, but I agree overall that games should go to PC a little bit faster. I mean, Alex glided over the piracy comment because the numbers are that piracy is on a rise. So, you want to motivate people to not put games on PC or to wait or to jam that crappy de novo nonsense into it? Yeah, well, keep encouraging piracy. You're going to cannibalize your platform. I'm not saying PC gaming is going to die, by the way, but that's a real great way to cannibalize your platform, is to encourage people to pirate, and piracy's on a rise. So is cheating. I'm not being doomsday. These are facts. These are stats. There's entire companies devoting their resources to combating it. Like, this is a real reality that's a threat to the PC ecosystem. Yo, Midwest Eagles fan takes us to 282. You guys have about 7 minutes to get 18 members. You got 7 minutes. I'm going to schedule the members thing. He didn't glide over it. He confirmed it. What do you mean he confirmed it? I watched his video this morning when I was in the shower because, it's Alex, isn't it? Anyway, I watched it this morning, and I didn't feel like he really answered that. He didn't answer, like, does that reality affect how companies look at landing on that ecosystem? Hang on. Freaking, I can't type. PlayStation Showcase waiting room. He ranted about being pro-piracy for a long time. He confirmed it. Well, but that was specific to Nintendo. He wasn't saying all. What? 30 minutes is fine. We're going to members in like 5 minutes. So in 30 minutes is fine. Yeah. Xavier Walker or Javier, I'm not sure which pronunciation. Thank you so much. Takes us to 283. Tony Esquire coming in with a $10 super chat tip. In my opinion, a 2-year wait for PlayStation games to PC is the perfect business strategy because amazing exclusives may generate console purchase. That's what I ended up doing. That's the other thing that I think people miss in that conversation. I think they miss it. It's like, listen to me. You think that the timing of God of War 2018 was a coincidence with Ragnarok? You think Zero Dawn was a coincidence with Forbidden West? You think it's a coincidence? He said, we steal your games because that's the only way we can own our games today, period. Right, justifying theft because you have a philosophical disagreement with how companies handle their property. Does that mean you can steal all of Disney Plus's property? You can steal everything that's meted out on a license, right? You can't own Mando. You can't own, Obi-Wan. I can't own Picard. It's on Paramount Plus. So my consumer expectation being unmet justifies theft? I think that's philosophically not a sound position. Not aligning with a business's structure doesn't justify stealing from them. It doesn't. He and I will discuss this Friday. We will. I got no problem discussing this with him. From a philosophical position about how markets work and how companies work and how value works, if you don't agree with a company's policy or delivery of their stuff, then you don't buy it. That's what you're supposed to do as a consumer. That's capitalism. Thievery is antithetical to capitalism because it's a threat to a product's solvency. So if I go to the grocery store, I don't agree with their pricing, I don't agree with inflation, I can just steal from them, right? I can just go steal from them. That philosophical logical ends, it leads to IPs not being made. Yeah. If you proselytize and evangelize for that position and you get people on your side, you are a direct threat to the very thing that you think that you have a right to. You steal enough. Imagine an indie title lands on Nintendo and you've got this army of people pirating the game because they believe they don't truly own it and they don't like Nintendo's policies. So they all steal it. And the indie title doesn't make enough money. Developers like, well, I guess we can't do a sequel. I guess we need to shut down. It's antithetical. You're that's parasitic. That's a parasitic attitude on the market that you're claiming to be a part of. You're not a part of the market. You're a parasite on the market when you steal. It's the facts. You're a threat to the market. That you aren't putting into the market. You're pulling out and not giving back to it. You're just stealing from the market. Like that. Come on. $17 more members. You guys have 3 minutes, roughly. IRC isn't stealing. You're not taking a physical thing. You're creating a copy of that physical thing. A real-world analog would be growing your own food. No. No. Theft does not require the thing to be physical. That's special pleading. That's not true. Good golly, Miss Molly. Good golly, Miss Molly. That's just so not true. Hundreds of years of copyright law just dashed on the rocks. All art. Right? All art, all movies, all music, all TV shows, none of that can be stolen because it's not a physical item. Oh, my nose is going to start bleeding. Jeepers. Okay, I got to do these gifteds. Hang on, I got to do these gifteds. We're going to run out of time. I don't want this stream to hit 3 hours, and we're at 2:55. I owe you guys 20 for the first 115 for this one. Somebody quick jump in here and give me another 20 bombs, so I have to do 2 20 bombs. Somebody do it. Somebody do it. You're running out of time. It's not a crime as long as you don't earn money from it, at least here in Spain. Oh, it's a crime here in the States. Federal crime. Yeah, it's a federal crime. Just because you don't make money from it doesn't make it. It's still considered a crime. Fines and everything. You can get into big trouble for doing it. It's not a light thing. I'm gifting the members that I owe you. There's a 5 spot from Floyd. You guys can push for it. He takes you guys to 288. 288. I got to gift a 20 bomb. Another 20 bomb if this hits 300. If this is 300, I got to gift it. There it is. There it is. The man himself takes us to 318. 318. I now owe you a 20 bomb. And a 5 bomb from Catwalk puts us at 322. We're going to have a huge waiting room. We're going to have a huge waiting room for this showcase. So many people getting memberships right now. What are gaming memberships? It gives you access to my members-only content, which we are about to do. We are about to go into a members-only stream. It's a waiting room for the showcase. When I stream the PlayStation Showcase, it will be public. It will be public. All right, here's my 20 bomb that I owe you guys. And then we got to get the frick out of here. You instantly got a member. We're super generous here, man. We are super duper generous here. We got to get out of here. We're at 57. I don't want this to hit 3 hours. Once my 20 is done, we're getting out of here. If you didn't get a membership, consider becoming a member. You just go to my channel, push join. It's $5, okay? Then you can go to the members only playlist. You'll see it. Charles Hawk's going to gift one. He's going to gift one and take us at 323. 323. Thank you so much. And YOLO just renewed for 6 months. Reforge Gaming rocks. Thank you. I'm going to put a link in the chat. That's where we're headed. That's a members-only stream. If you didn't get a membership, we'll be back at 3:30 for the showcase. That will be a publicly viewable stream, all right? It'll be publicly viewable. You will be able to hang out with us. Hang on. I got to turn off the auto start. How do I get one? Is it random? It's based off of loyalty. A lot of new people got them today, though, because we ran out of people to give them to. We have so many freaking members. We're so generous here that, yeah, it makes it really, really hard to only give it to loyal people. All right, here we go. Hey, thanks for being a member. You might be a brand new member. You got gifted a member because my community is crazy generous. This stream is going to be a waiting room for the showcase, okay? If you're watching this later as a past broadcast, get plugged in as a member. Get in my Discord. It's members only. It's linked below in the description. I do daily members only debriefs. If you want to upgrade to VIP, we're almost to 300 VIPs. At the end of the week, we do an unfiltered debrief with my producer. You don't want to miss that. It's a really, really good time. I'm going to end the previous stream about my showcase expectations and bring everybody over. We had a banner day, 323 members, and I'm going to pull folks over with redirect, and then we will do a publicly viewable show.